The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
It's World Turtle Day.
When I was a little kid, I had a pet turtle. Tiny little turtle, kept him in an aquarium. Then one summer I went away to camp. While I was gone at camp, the turtle died. When I got home, my dad lied to me. Said, Anthony, your turtle is alive and well. It just went to go live with your mother. And I believed that. Till a couple days later, I was digging around in the backyard, found my mom's body. Worst day of my life. I love that turtle.
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
All right. You're great, zombie. And good times here at the Waterfront Village.
Look who's up, sleepyhead.
Happy World Turtle Day.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, those dirty, dirty bastards. They went ahead and did it. Despite all the controversy, they decided to go ahead with World Turtle Day.
I like turtles.
There was a lot of pushback on it.
They asked for it. Don't come crying to us, right, Josh, when the trouble starts.
We did warn people about it. Nobody listened. Nobody wants to listen. No, we have a turtle at home.
Yeah, how is Dude?
Dude, he's doing well. Yeah, it doesn't do too much. He just kind of swims around a little bit. He looks at you.
Sure.
Try and touch him, he'll hiss at you.
Oh.
Doesn't like to be picked up, nothing like that. Poops quite a bit. You know, your average turtle stuff.
Yeah, he's into turtle things.
They went ahead and did it. They hit the start button on World Turtle Day, and there's going to be a lot of suffering. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
We were just talking about turtles before the show, you and I, on how we save the turtles and the birds and stuff by cutting the plastic rings that our Gatorades come in.
Remember they made that like a life or death thing?
Yeah, I know a couple people that they won't use straws because they want to save the turtles, things like that.
Yeah, I came into the building here with a couple of Gatorades stuck in a plastic six-pack type of a situation that I think most folks are familiar with. Plastic six-pack type deal. Yeah, then I took the time to cut it into little pieces to not kill the turtles. You're right. I totally forgot that. And then fast forward a half hour, and here we are celebrating World Turtle Day.
I like turtles.
Ever cut your hand doing that? I got myself pretty good once.
I've never even come close. I've never come close to cutting my hand.
Oh, yeah,
either.
I got myself pretty good
with the scissors.
Yeah, right in the webbing there.
You love turtles so much you're willing to sacrifice your own hand.
I bled for turtles.
That's dedication.
Yeah, that was a brand new gimmick dumped on me a few years ago. I was throwing away one of those six-pack rings, just intact. I threw it in a garbage can, and someone turned to me and said, "What are you doing? You have to cut those up into little pieces because the seagulls and the turtles and the crappies or something will all die."
It was funny. We were just talking about this maybe like 3 weeks ago, and someone's like, "Well, I don't care. There's no turtles near me." And I'm like, "Well, there are birds and stuff." And he's like, "Oh, true." All right.
I got yelled at. I got reprimanded. So now I practice. I try to practice that rigmarole if ever I have to throw one of those little six-pack. I cut it on up. You're right. We were talking about that. Just a couple more work days here before Memorial Day weekend. And some of you lucky pricks have already left town, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. A few people texted in and said today's their Friday. One guy told us today's his Thursday, so there's some lucky folks out there.
Today's his Thursday. Some of you folks have already gone on vacation, haven't you? Folks here in town, we're all over this bring ya ass gimmick, right? Everybody's all over this bit.
Bring your ass.
Okay? Anthony Edwards, if you're just coming out of a coma or something, Anthony Edwards told Charles Barkley on live television that he should, quote, bring your ass to Minneapolis. Now, we always enjoy learning details of our listeners' lives. So I guess on the subject, where is everybody? Did some of you leave town already? We want to ask our listeners, where is your ass right now? Right now as we speak, where's your ass? Text us and tell us where you're at. Is there anything interesting about where your ass is right now?
Bring your ass.
Is your ass happy to be there, or is it unhappy for where you're at right now? Where would you rather your ass be?
Bring your ass.
Tell us that if you like. 651-989-9393. Where's your ass? Is it happy? Anything interesting about where your ass is right now? And maybe where would you rather be if you are unhappy? Again,
maybe it's dragging. Your ass could be dragging. I've heard people say that before.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you're just at your miserable job right now. Maybe your ass is far, far away from here. Maybe your ass is in jail. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I hope my ass is not in jail.
It doesn't matter. Like I said,
that's going to take a while for them to respond, those in jail. I mean, we're talking about writing a letter, having corrections read it, sent to us. So we'll find out by the time we get back if people are in jail.
You don't think they can get back to us by the end of tomorrow?
Well, I doubt that.
Tomorrow's show?
Yeah, they could maybe text us on a keistered cell phone.
While we're waiting for folks to text in on this topic, excessive diarrhea, Jesus comments on not using a straw. I know a couple people that they bring their own metal straws. He says, I don't use straws because I'm not a bitch.
What the?
I didn't know using a straw made me a bitch.
Well, how are we supposed to do our cocaine, excessive diarrhea, Jesus?
How am I supposed to drink my juice box, excessive diarrhea, Jesus?
I don't use a straw, he says, because I'm not a bitch.
He's not a bitch.
Like I said, we always enjoy finding out more information, more details on the lives of our wondrous listening audience. So, simple enough.
A lot of people said they ass is tired. Work.
I've been there. I've been tired, and I've been to work.
Let's see.
Well, I mean,
these are coming in like movie theater credits.
Don't hurt yourself over there, Cubby. We got all day.
I get friction on a pickle jar. Jesus said his ass is getting some ass right now. Is that true? Did you take a break to text us?
Do you believe that one?
No.
I hope he was texting during it.
I'm not buying it, Wapple.
It is 5:48 in the morning. What are you doing?
Who the hell in their right mind has sex at 5:48?
Some people like the early morning stuff.
It's disgusting is what it is.
Get it, son.
In the morning.
Digging
Disgusting.
the Taco Jesus is, well, actually, we have a name change here. It looks like City Working Jesus. He's in a sweeper, keeping the city clean.
Wow.
Wishing he had a barley pop.
Driving the street sweeper. That sounds like fun.
I bet it would be a lot funner with a barley pop.
A lot funner, he says.
I haven't heard barley pop in a while.
I've never heard that. That's great.
I haven't heard someone say funner in quite a while.
You haven't hung out with me long enough.
Every single day isn't long enough. Every single weekday isn't enough.
Nope. Don't I always surprise you?
I don't know if surprise is the word.
I think, well, disappoint is probably the better word.
A whole lot funner. Thank you already for your text messages. 651-989-9393. We'll find some time to sift through them, no doubt about it.
Cabins and the toilet are also popular answers coming in.
Yeah.
I told you a lot of these pricks have left town on us already. Left us behind. A couple days ago, I was reading something or another about road trips. Just like that old Family Guy bit, Josh. Remember that? Road trip, they would say.
Yeah, that's what he said. Road trip.
Road trip.
Remember when Quagmire went on his cross-country tour?
I do not.
And he had his bus or whatever it was, and he had the banner on the side?
No, I do not.
Oh, and then Peter asked him, is that how you spell country? And then Quagmire said, yup.
I was reading something or another about road trips. It's road trip season right now.
Sure is.
It kicked in, I don't know, a handful of days ago. Anyone going anywheres?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to my boyfriend's grandparents' cabin in Spicer. That's
Boyfriend's grandparents.
Yes,
In
it's
Spicer.
on. It's on Green Lake.
There's one this weekend I'd like to go to. It's not going to work out, but that's the only real one that's come up.
You and I have gone on a couple road trips together. Road trip. Let me see if I can remember this. Mankato, Minnesota.
Yep, we've been there.
Arlington,
We've been there a couple
Minnesota.
times. Yep.
Yeah.
Greenall, Arlington.
But it's been many years. You guys know this, Wapple, Ashley, Dana. I've been pressing Josh for years now to go on a fall colors tour, but he hasn't been very responsive.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't send you articles or read articles that you send to him, Nick. I don't get that.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you took interest in your friends' hobbies, Josh.
If I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I love living vicariously through you guys. Honestly, when you guys talk about that stuff, I love it. I absolutely love it. Who was that talking, by the way?
That was me.
Road trip season. Act accordingly. Oh, more adults, I guess, are preferring road trips to airplane rides. Well, yeah. I mean, airplane situations have been completely off the rails for years now. Airplane, what's the term I'm looking for? Air travel has been mental for a few years now. So I can understand why folks would rather just get into their own motor vehicle and let her buck for 5-6 hours.
I like that way better. Way better.
Well, I hate air travel, so yeah, absolutely.
I like road trips.
It also seems like that movement happened where everyone was getting those ice castles and RVs and stuff, so, they're kind of going camping more.
Yeah,
Okay.
ice castles are the best.
Because,
Okay.
you can take
use
those
them.
camping in the summer.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
can use
believe
them
that
year-round.
Sorry, Ashley.
No, you're good.
I can't believe how fancy those are. Some of those ice castles are crazy.
Oh, they're awful nice.
They're better than my house.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
My buddy has one that, it's got a microwave, an oven, 2 TVs, 3
Internet.
beds. Like, what? This is
guys-
not fishing.
You guys know big, bald, bearded Jared, and his is nicer than my house, for sure. That's the nicest I've ever been in. It was awesome.
Well, and then you get these huge ice castles, and now you need a huge truck. So then they get a big truck, too. They got a new ice castle, new truck.
I had no idea about the ice castle thing until I started dating my fiance, and her dad was like, "Well, you've never been ice fishing. We got to take you ice fishing." And guys know me. I don't really like doing anything outside, especially if it's cold. And he's like, "Well, I have an ice castle." Well, what's an ice castle? I started looking at pictures, like, good Lord, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember like ice fishing back in the day. You were essentially in an outhouse, and it was always way too hot in that thing. But now, it's luxurious.
You're watching TV.
Yeah.
And as this person said, people no longer camp; they go glamping. It's
Yeah.
not camping; it's glamping.
Yeah, they are fancy schmancy. I don't want one because I'd never make it worthwhile. Kind of the same line of thinking people have about boats or snowmobiles. Sure, they're a lot of fun, but I know I would never use it as much as I should.
I bet they're not cheap.
No, they are not.
But
no.
kind of like a boat, maybe not so much like a snowmobile, but kind of like a boat. It's always great to know someone who has one.
Yeah, pools, all that kind of stuff. Cabin,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Hey, next time we go to Arlington, Nick, we got to visit Hick Chick Sheezus. We'll have to ask her if she was involved in that too pregnant lady fight we saw.
She was probably in junior high when that happened, for God's sake.
Maybe it was her mom.
Oh!
Maybe she was involved, but she was in the womb.
We don't normally like to ask rude, inappropriate questions, but if you don't mind, Hick Chick Cheeses, get back to Cubby and tell us what age range are you in? Because, we want to know if maybe this was your mom or your aunt, or maybe you were there the night that Josh and I, one of the times we went to Arlington, we saw a terrible
right outside our hotel
sidewalk fight between a couple of pregnant ladies.
I think one of them had a stroller, so maybe Hick Chick Jesus was in there. I'd love to know if she was involved.
We got to know.
Wouldn't that be a small world?
I mean, we had some dramatic times down there. Dramatic times. We were down there visiting a friend of Josh. A couple of friends of Josh were playing in a live band down there, I think. Wasn't that the deal?
Yeah, they used to play out that way.
Oh, we just went down with a couple of gals. I mean, we were almost on double blind date weekend kind of a thing, right? Didn't we bring a couple girls with us? We didn't really know them that well.
Yeah,
right?
One I ended up marrying mine.
What?
That was my wife when we first started dating. That was one of our first dates, actually.
Oh, I don't recall your wife being down there. At any rate, so it was just a hell of a scene. We drank until the wee hours. Tell me if I'm losing my effing mind here, because sometimes I encounter blank spots in the reel, you know. I think my memory's pretty sharp, but, you know, some of these drinking weekends, things get a little squirrely, and I can't remember the details. One of the trips we went to Arlington, I don't think this involved your future wife. You know, we're both drunk and trying to finally get to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, and one of the women we were with had like a crying fit.
No, that's the worst.
It was like a middle of the night, I miss my ex-boyfriend crying fit.
Yep, that's exactly correct.
Okay. Slap her across the face a couple times, she'll snap out of it.
That's right. You recommend hitting women, you say.
You know me.
Domestic violence is the answer, says Ashley. Now, your future wife was nowhere near that situation.
I think she was. I think both times we went, she was with us.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm out of my mind. Okay, I don't remember your old lady.
She was a lot thinner back then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, less scarring. Does that ring a bell at all?
Yes.
She had both of her legs at that time.
Oh, she did have both. But I'm telling you, have you guys ever been in that situation? You are dead drunk and dead tired, and all you please let me sleep for the love of God, kind of a thing, right?
I would have flipped.
And this gal had to, because the women with us were drunk too. She had some kind of an emotional breakdown, missing her ex-boyfriend. But yet I think she still had sex with someone in the room, and it might have been me. I don't know. But it was frustrating, because we just, look, the sun's going to be up in an hour. Can we have this meltdown tomorrow? And then, if I have my together, the next morning, we didn't sleep much. We crack open the front door on our garbage motel room. Motel, not hotel, so we're right on the street. And we see, I think one of the first things we saw was a big shirtless, beer-bellied man walking down the street, drinking a beer.
Oh, hell yeah.
7:38 in the morning. And then we
Barley
saw...
pop.
And then...
Barley pop.
Wasn't it in broad daylight when we saw the pregnant fight?
Yeah. It was in the morning, I thought.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That is so fun.
I think we got out like we're stretching.
Yeah.
You might see some folks who we weren't drinking coffee, but just sitting there having their morning coffee or something like. It was like that scene.
Yeah.
We're enjoying. The sun just rose.
First things first, here comes beer-bellied old-timer, just no shirt, walking down the sidewalk, guzzling I think it was a Miller High Life. And I thought that would be the main event of the morning. So I'm like, Cubby, get out here. Look at this friggin' guy. And little did we know, we were minutes away from the real show, which was two pregnant ladies F-bombing, dumping C-words on each other on the sidewalk. Get out of my face, bitch!
Yeah, that was a world star hiphop.com style fight that those two got. Hair pulling, everything.
And that's when we decided we're coming back.
Yeah, this is home.
We're coming back.
This is our home away from home.
Good morning, Arlington.
Yeah, a few people from Arlington checking in. Good morning. Yeah, I love that part of the world there. That was fun.
This probably isn't the way they'd like us to present their town live on the radio. All we can do is share our experiences. That's all we can do.
All right, so Hick Chick, she just got back to us. She was not involved in any way in that chick fight that we saw.
Was she a little girl at the time?
She's 37 now. And so we're talking, almost 20 years ago?
Yeah, she was a high school kid, probably. Oh, wow. Those are some of the things you can experience on a good old-fashioned road trip, especially if you go someplace where you've never been before. Before Josh and I went to Arlington together, I had never been there.
I had neither, no.
So that was part of the fun, was not knowing what we were getting ourselves into. Oh, God.
Hey, this is interesting, going back to the ice castle thing from Big Mig Welder, who sent us the picture of the old The More You Know, where they used to run those little ads on Channel 11 or whatever it was.
Usually during children's programming, they dump something on you. The more you know,
Did
right?
they teach you a little something? Like a little life lesson? Do they still air those? I loved those.
I don't see them anymore. I just see them on the internet nowadays.
Okay,
The memes.
It's kind of it's a meme. So he sent that, and he said, "Fun fact: did you guys know this? Ice castles aren't actually made of ice."
What? No way.
Why do they call them that then?
Out of town.
Not to challenge your intelligence, but that makes no sense.
I actually knew that.
You did know?
Yes.
How?
It's just a cute brand name.
You are smart.
Yeah, it's a marketing thing, Wapple. You wouldn't understand.
What's marketing?
Right.
Wait a minute. I'm confused.
Right. Tell you what, while we have time off here over Memorial Day weekend, Wapple, I'll teach you about marketing if you show me the internet.
Oh, okay. I think I can do that.
What the hell is I need to know more about the...
Yeah, that was a proud moment when I taught you about Spotify, and then I also taught you about Google Maps.
Yeah, you've shown me things.
Yep.
You have. I got to give you credit where credit is due.
Well, good morning, Arlington. Man, there's plenty of people checking in from Arlington. Better than Nick at Papa Shot Basketball Jesus is checking in from Arlington right now.
He really is?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever make a sweet-ass mixtape when you went on a road trip?
No.
I didn't go on my first road trip. I think I was like 20-something. Well, no, I take that back. I went with, I was maybe 18. I went with a girlfriend's family.
Now, I was pretty damn good at making, as you put it, sweet-ass mixtapes when I was a kid.
I certainly did that like in middle school.
But I never made one specifically for a road trip.
Oh, I love doing that. You figure out which friends are going to be in the car, and you're like, all right, this person likes this type of music. This person likes this type of music.
You're very considerate with your mixtapes.
Mix and match a little bit.
Yeah, I am
you're
not
playing DJ.
considerate,
Yeah.
Wapple. I've definitely just made playlists for road trips with music that I enjoy.
Oh, yeah, I would cater the car.
Look at you, Waffle. You're such
so
a giver.
nice.
But then it sucked because, I mean, you had sweet-ass mixtape 1, and then you also had sweet-ass mixtape 2 through 10. It's like, great, which songs are on which?
I was always pretty good at labeling them. I did.
It's important, as you know.
I was.
Found that out later in life.
I got very detailed when I would make a mixtape.
All right, I'm sorry to keep going back to Arlington, but this is incredible. Is the entire town listening? Mediocre at best, Trucker Jesus said that he met the two of us when you're right, the band we went to see was Scarlet Haze.
Okay.
So he met us there. Are you the one that angrily called me a pretty boy and I thought wanted to punch me in the face? That's the one and only time anybody's ever said that to me.
That's intimidating.
We thought we were going to have to kick this guy's ass.
Yeah, and he was an intimidating guy, and he was very drunk. But he came up to me and out of nowhere said that. I was kind of laughing like, well, thank you in a way. I've never heard anybody say that before.
You are quite pretty, Josh.
If that was you, dude, you're lucky we didn't kick your ass. And you know it.
I hope we're friends now.
Okay, we have to go back to Arlington so we have more. If this many people from Arlington are listening to this friggin' show, we got to go back there together, Cubby, and we have to have more pleasant experiences that we can share on the air, other than an emotional breakdown in a motel, an alcoholic on the sidewalk at 7 a.m. with no shirt on, and fighting pregnant women.
I'd love that. We should go back. It'd be fun.
They got a racetrack out there?
You're thinking of Darlington. That's in South Carolina, I believe. I would like to paint a nicer picture for that town next time we talk about it. So I guess we got to go back.
Mediocre at best, Trucker Jesus has gotten back to me. He said, back then, that very well could have been me. You might have been that angry guy. There's more people checking in from Arlington in that area. We got to go to Arlington.
Effing kidding me?
This is really cool.
I thought it was Delano where we had all the listeners. But I guess it's Arlington. Come back on June 1st. Oh, Jesus, we got to make... Someone's telling us we got to... What's going on June 1st?
June 1st. That's coming up.
Hang on, let me look this. Maybe he's got
a Saturday. A week from this Saturday?
Yep.
Come back on June 1st. Oh, they're having a
Is it like
a benefit. They're having a benefit. Okay, I'll look into this. Thank you, Mediocre. Is that the guy?
Yeah. He's the one that may or may not have called me a pretty boy and threatened to beat me up.
Yes, there is a racetrack there, says Mediocre at best, Trucker Jesus.
We could get Derby in.
You got to
Watch
be
some
kidding.
derbies and stuff.
Darlington.
It's always a blast.
That does sound funner than your normal Saturday, right, Wapple? Doesn't that sound funner?
Yeah, it does. Sounds a lot funner.
Well, I'll be damned. See, this is why we like to get involved with the text messages.
We better bring our ass to Arlington.
Yeah, bring your ass.
There's a racetrack and everything.
Like there's a ballpark.
And don't let me tell my, now I have to tell my mixed tape story again, although this was a mixed CD on a road trip a number of years ago. Me and 4 or 5 guys in a big vehicle going summers. And the mixed CD, Josh, we were killing it there for a while. Ozzy Osbourne.
Bruh.
Metallica.
Dude.
Megadeth.
What ballad did you put on there?
AC/DC. I didn't make the CD.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Someone else made the CD. Oh, who else do we have on there? Tesla. Rat. Van Halen. And we're having a great time. And then suddenly, whatever, Van Halen's song dies, and we're on to the next song. And here it comes. All the
No.
small fiends. And everyone in the car said, "What in God's name is this garbage?" And the dude who made the mix CD, he was on an island. He had to defend himself. He said, "What? I like this." And we said, "Hit skip on this stupid-ass song before we throw you out of the car that you're driving."
Although that was smart strategy on his part to kind of load up some tunes he knew you guys would all like, and then hopefully he could just kind of slide that one in there. Maybe you wouldn't have noticed.
There was no strategy. This guy's a moron. We got to get going, don't we, Cubby?
We do.
All right, we'll take a break. Disappointing ball game last night. We'll talk that up with Randy Shaver at 7:30, but I'll tell you what, we're going to have some laughs. We'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks for listening to the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this summer. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst times.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, you bet. We got the stupid news report to look forward to. Josh, if you're still thinking about hiring a mariachi band for your keg party this summer, maybe skip out on hiring these fellas that I'm about to talk to you about. They sound a little volatile. You don't want trouble at the party.
No, that's not what a party's all about.
If you're thinking about hiring a mariachi band for your party, maybe not these cats. It says here now, mariachi band performing on a street corner in Mexico. They got into a hell of a confrontation with a fire swallower performer guy.
Ew.
I don't know if I've ever seen one of those in person.
I have. It's awesome.
It's so cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Where the hell were you people when you saw a fire swallower performer guy?
Vegas.
You're in Vegas? I didn't see it in Vegas.
I saw it at an EDM concert.
An EDM concert. Where was that?
Somerset, just
Was it-
over in Wisconsin.
Was-
They do all those flame twirling stuff, and then they have fire swallowers.
You know, Wapple, just by chance, I missed that EDM concert.
Yeah, that was the one that you missed. I wish you were there.
Where did you see a fire swallower, Cubby?
Hawaii.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, see, when I was
It wasn't like an organized event. It was an accident, but it was incredible to see.
Wow. I went to one of those Hawaiian islands, and I saw some dudes. I believe they were a juggling fire. I don't think any of them ate it.
None of them ate it or spit it or anything like that?
I think they just juggled it for us. I think.
And you were on the beautiful island.
I was
on the one everyone makes fun of. But that was my first time ever leaving the state even.
You were on the garbage island of Hawaii. They call it, what do they call it again?
Oahu.
Oahu. I was on Maui.
Everyone says that's the place to go.
That was where it's at. Okay, so this mariachi band gets in a friggin' fight with a fire swallower guy. And the fire swallower guy, he upped and started tossing fireballs at the damn mariachi act. Throwing, by God, fireballs like a wizard in one of those dorky fantasy movies that you guys like so much. That's not cool at all. It was like a little turf war over who had the right to perform on that particular street corner. You see how that works?
Yeah.
I've heard that there's some dust-ups like with food trucks and things like that. People get pretty pissy about their prostitution, too. Seriously, I've heard that as well.
Yes.
Certainly drug dealers. I've seen enough movies to know you don't go on somebody else's turf.
Yeah.
I also thought the people that would dress up as like Spider-Man or different characters in like New York City, they would go after each other.
Oh, yeah, they'll harass each other, and they'll harass you, too.
What's
I would
that?
love to see that, like Spider-Man versus a minion, just beating each other up.
I'm sure you can find it online.
What is that hot spot in Los Angeles where that's where they have
Walk
the
of Fame?
I don't know.
Like Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah, the Chinese theater.
I think that's the one. They have all the just piles of these celebrity lookalikes and folks dressing up as superheroes. I hear that's where a lot of the karate fights happen because everyone's trying to get as much attention as possible, maybe get hired to do something in Hollywood. At any rate.
I saw two guys here get into an argument about a parking spot, and there's only one assigned parking spot in the whole lot. And they got pretty pissed. One guy in particular, I thought, well, he's going to kill someone.
Over a parking spot?
Parking spot.
Here?
Yeah.
There's nobody here.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the dumbest thing. So the details are, there was a particular guy, he no longer works here. He was at KQ. Do you remember this now?
Yes, I do.
He would always just, wherever I parked, he was a little OCD, so he would always park next to me.
Right.
That was kind of his thing. So I would, park someplace, he'd park next to me. Well, somebody parked next to me. And when he got here, and he was so mad, he came over and chewed the guy out.
Oh my
and the
God.
guy was totally confused. Like, what? There's no assigned part. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was strange.
That was weird. And I mean, that's he was a volatile guy, but that's the angriest I'd ever seen him. And I thought, is he kidding around? But no, he wasn't at all.
And people need to remember, we're here early in the morning.
I'm the first one here.
There's no one in the parking lot.
You can park
wide open.
You can park anywhere you want.
Yeah, sometimes like somebody will leave a vehicle overnight or something like that. But yeah, and by the time he was here too, there's a handful of cars in the parking lot.
And this was a guy that used to work at KQ?
Yeah.
Boy, that list is long. Spend all day trying to figure out who that is. So the mariachis square off with the fire eater. And the word is the mariachis had the upper hand at first. It was like 6-on-1. They ganged up on the fire eater, and they were kicking and punching the lights out of this poor bastard. And this nightmare was recorded on videotape, surveillance video type of thing. Somehow the fire eater picked himself up and made his move. And I mean the fire eater guy straight up set a couple of the mariachi bros on effing fire with his fireballs. It was horrifying. The mariachis cut loose with some jiu-jitsu moves to try and fight back again, but the fire guy was good with those fireballs. He was pretty accurate. Set a couple of them ablaze. They had to ditch their cool-looking mariachi jackets because they were on fire. Shockingly, no one was arrested from this scene.
What?
Right. Mexico, I don't know how things operate.
Yeah.
The flame swallower dude, he did take himself to be treated at the hospital. I'm guessing, well, you know, he might have had a couple of chiclets come loose when the mariachis were tuning him up. But also, I would imagine his hands were pretty well cooked from windmill and fireballs up and down the sidewalk. Says here, violent disputes between street performers and even windshield washers are common in Mexico. The competition for tips is especially fierce. Everyone's trying to make a day's pay on the street corner.
I think I did see something about the windshield washers. Like, people literally will run up to your car with a spray bottle and a squeegee, and they'll quickly wash your windows and try to get some money. I learned it in Mexican street wrestling documentary that I was watching.
Yes. I saw the same.
That was insane.
I saw the same documentary that you did, Wampo. That's been going on, for years and years.
Never thought something like that could happen.
You know, you might get enough for a meal, you know?
Yeah.
Just wiping down folks' windshields.
Or put on a wrestling match.
That sounds more dangerous.
If you like seeing people on fire, there's a dad-to-be who gets engulfed in flames at a gender reveal that went wrong. That's on 93x.com.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did he die?
No.
He got burned up?
It didn't look like... I think he's okay.
There was so much smoke.
But that was very smoky, and it looked like it probably hurt for a little bit there.
That can't be good for the pregnant woman.
Or the baby.
Yeah.
I'm breathing in dad right now.
She's just gulping jet black smoke all afternoon long, trying to save her baby daddy. Okay, folks like Smashly over there, folks who are afraid of clowns, they always say that part of the fear is that you can't be sure what kind of person is hiding behind the mask. Now, here's a quick story of a professional clown. Oh, with a bit of a dark side, a wild side, maybe?
Surprise, surprise.
A professional clown is in trouble with the law. He agreed to meet an undercover cop during a prostitution sting. I would imagine that the clown guy likely would not perform sex acts for monies with the makeup on, but I can't be sure.
People would pay for that.
So he got tied up in a prostitution sting. According to the police in a place called Carbondale, Pennsylvania, cops were in the middle of an undercover prostitution investigation, like I told you about a minute ago. On an online website, cops said they found a man, later identified as 28-year-old. He's a 28-year-old fella by the name of Francis Bui. There they found Francis. He was advertising himself under the escort section of the website. The undercover cop met with Bui, and he was arrested on the scene. Bui told police it was the first time he had offered prostitution services. Yeah, right. He said it's my first time. He said he knew it was wrong. Bui probably surprised the cops a little bit when he admitted that he performs as a professional clown called the Amazing Franco. And he just got back in town from traveling with the circus.
You'd think on the road he could get some action here or there. But...
Ooh-wee, I bet he does. This is the first I've heard of the traveling circus in a long time. I thought maybe they'd gone out of business. When's the last time any of you's heard, hey, the circus is coming to town?
It comes to town every once in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that said out loud in I don't know how long.
A few years ago, maybe. Yeah, a few years ago, I think there was one in town.
Maybe I'm watching the wrong programming. I don't know.
If you were, you mentioned the clown makeup. I mean, if you were in a relationship with, well, I know you don't necessarily need to be in a relationship, but if you were with someone who was a clown, wouldn't you at one time just say, no, leave the makeup on?
Probably.
I think I would.
Probably half the time.
Half the time?
Yeah,
at least once I'd like to try that.
Yeah. I mean, Kiss, a lot of their groupies in the early days liked them to stay in character.
Yeah, if I was going to sleep with the star man, I'd ask him to keep it on.
No.
I want the full experience.
Well, damn. So what a couple of interesting gigs this guy holds down, this Francis Bui. One day he's passing out balloon animals to kids, and the next day he's offering, HJs in the janitor's closet at a hotel. What a life.
Every day's different.
There you go. The amazing Franco. Look for him when he rolls through town with the circus.
Amazing Franco. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Well, this guy here, this guy sucks. Garbage pile from a place called Georgetown, New York. He was arrested after attempting to flee from police on a tractor. And it's a hell of a story. The garbage pile goes by the name of Michael DeBatis. He's 37 years old. He had been wanted by the local cops since last week on domestic violence charges. So the first time the cops tried to grab him up, he raced away from them in a motor vehicle, and the cops didn't know where he had gone off to. A few days later, cops found out where the prick was and attempted to bring him in again. This time the moron ran away on foot, and then he hopped his ass up onto a large farm tractor on his property. He drove off on the tractor, cops hot on his ass. At one point, he even used the tractor's bucket to smash into a sheriff's vehicle head on. Oh. He was eventually able to elude the cops by driving into what they call here a heavily wooded area. For Christ's sake, Josh, the police had to call the helicopter guy.
Oh, I bet the helicopter guy was pretty pumped.
Well, I don't know. I'm picturing the helicopter guy's probably tearing off a piece and the cell phone rings. Great. You know what I'm talking about?
I'll be there. I'll leave in 15 minutes.
Right. I don't know. I figure the helicopter guy's probably pretty popular. And he's got cool things going on. And then his phone rings. Great. I got to fly the...
Have you ever seen the helicopter guys from like the State Patrol or something out to lunch or something?
Never saw it.
They're in their flight suits. Getting ready to be called at a moment's notice to a chase or a search or something. Yeah.
They wear Top Gun style flight suits?
Yeah, I saw some at the... is it West St. Paul there? Yeah, West St. Paul Target. Or I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. West St. Paul Chipotle. There was 3 of them out there.
Do they feel silly in their flight suits?
Oh, they look like they felt pretty cool. I thought they looked cool.
I would feel kind of silly walking around. The helicopter guy had to get involved, so he flies up in the sky to try to find this prick hiding in the woods. Eventually, they found him hiding under a boat in the middle of nowheres. I mean, what a pain in the ass. What a friggin' pain in the ass. DeBatis, the douche, was taken into custody without further incident. I like this part. DeBatis was taken to a hospital for possible dehydration. Now, I'm going to go ahead and guess that came from being ass drunk for a few days in a row. Just drunk. Right? He's originally on the run for domestic violence. He knew the clock was ticking. So my guess is he just stayed ass drunk. He's all done now. Done.
So how weird is this? There were 2 circuses in town in the last couple months, and there's one in town right now at the Mall of America.
What? No way.
Yep. I had no idea.
You guys were aware of this?
No, I had no. I knew they come to town. You know, like.
Yeah. Haven't heard a word in years.
I didn't hear anything about the 2 previous ones, and certainly the one at the mall's been going on for a handful of days now, and it goes maybe through the end of the month, or actually into next month.
Is it possible that the circus, name any circus, doesn't have the ad dollars that they used to?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because
maybe we're not the target audience. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just missing.
Well, I mean, all you got to do is turn on a television.
Maybe you need to watch YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they might just advertise and.
I'm just guessing maybe that young people aren't going to the circus like they used to.
I've only went once in my whole entire life.
Really?
Young people have the internet and the Facebook and the video games, and they don't care about elephants and tigers and clowns anymore. That's my guess. And so maybe attendance is down, and they don't have the advertising dollars to put their commercials on television.
We would go to the circus for a field trip almost every year in elementary school.
What? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. We'd go to Target Center.
That was a field trip.
Yeah, and you'd be, yay.
You did that too,
Yay.
Elephant?
Yeah.
Popcorn.
We never did that.
Pick my nose.
I wonder if that would have helped with my fear of clowns if I was exposed to them more frequently when I was younger.
You need clown exposure.
Yeah, it's just me
Decent
in a
and
room
indecent.
with clowns.
I really liked the circus when I was a little boy until I absolutely sprayed the people sitting in front of us with my vomit one night at the circus. Oh, I sprayed vomit all over the innocent people in front of me because I was so sick. I don't know what was wrong with me.
Oh, it wasn't just too much cotton candy? You were
That's
like
what I was
legit sick?
thinking, too.
I was 4. I don't know.
Okay.
I just know I was very sick. Oh, and then I didn't want to go back.
Before Lionel Lakes blew up and we got Target and Kohl's, it was just woods. I remember I was really, really little, and the circus came to Lionel Lakes, and I was like, whoa, big time. And then like people were dressed as Power Rangers and stuff. I thought it was so cool.
I heard a story in a podcast recently about a guy who his parents took him to the circus every year, but it wasn't until he was much older that he realized that his parents would just take him to the parking lot where they would have the elephants out, and you could kind of see the elephants before the show, and they'd be like, all right, that was the circus, let's head home. They never actually went inside to the circus and paid money to get in there. And he was happy. He didn't care. He thought, I saw the elephants. I saw the circus. It was great.
That would have been good enough for me when I was 4.
Yeah, he just thought that was the event. You go to the parking lot, you see the animals, and you go home.
All right, check this out. This ought to be fun. A drunk monkey. You guys want in on this?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good start.
Says here a drunk monkey went on a rampage because it was jealous over its owner's new husband. The monkey thought his owner lady was his and his only. And when that changed a couple years ago, it changed the monkey.
I love that.
Because she got herself, Josh, a new husband.
Why do you need a husband if you have a monkey?
That's a great question.
State Fair T-shirt right there.
I wouldn't need a significant other if I had a friggin' monkey.
Oh.
One that wore children's clothing and drank and smoked cigarettes, and I could teach it how to ride my Harley Davidson.
That'd be so cool.
Why would you need it? Good, Ashley, I'm right there with you. So, unfortunately, this monkey reacted like a lot of humans would when the lady that he thought was his started playing with another man. He got effing hammered drunk and took his hurt feelings out on everybody that crossed his path, just like a lot of humans do. The monkey goes by the name of Garrick, G-A-R-I-K. Who goes and gets a perfectly good monkey and gives it a stupid name? What a waste.
Well, maybe in Russia that's like a cool name, like Logan or something like that.
I forgot it was a Russian monkey. Right, okay.
Or Fonzie. Maybe that's Fonzie over there.
That would... If I'm getting a monkey, man, I'm going to take some time to come up with the perfect... Anyway.
I keep picturing that monkey now on your Harley Davidson with his leather jacket, tight white T-shirt, slick back monkey hair. He's got a toothpick hanging out of his mouth.
Pack of cigarettes rolled up in his sleeve.
The monkey goes by the name of Garrick. I'll try to get past it. I forgot. He lives over there in friggin' stupid Russia. He escaped from his owner. Her name is Anna. He escaped from her last week. He was heartbroken because this Anna had another man in her life. On his way out, they say the monkey grabbed an open bottle of hooch, took a bump, and then ran outside to start raising hell. He bit 5 people, including a pregnant woman. He bit another lady on her lips. Ouch.
He's so mad.
And she had to get stitches.
I bet a monkey could do some damage if it really wanted to.
Yeah.
Those chimps, they'll bite your face right off.
Oh, man. There's some dangerous bastards. The drunken monkey had so much rage pumping through his little veins that it took 3 grown men to hold his ass down once they caught up to him. All of his bite victims have received rabies injections, they say here. Ooh, that's fun. And he more or less got taken to jail. They dumped him off at the neighborhood zoo. Anna, the lady who broke his heart, says she can no longer control him. A couple years ago, when she started hooking up with her husband, the monkey's behavior changed. He became jealous. He became aggressive. When the monkey was examined at the zoo/jail, veterinarians reported a strong stench of alcohol. He was drunk, and he was sad. Of course, this is not the first time a monkey has gone mental. We read about monkey attacks all the time. A few years ago, also in stupid, awful Russia, a monkey attacked a 2-year-old kid while she was playing in a swimming pool.
Oh,
man. And he tuned that kid up pretty good. He did.
Snot Rocket Jesus says, dude, them monkeys get the herpes. Is that true? Oh, that's right. We have the herpy monkeys.
Yup.
Yeah, they get herpes pretty bad.
Dental Babe Jesus says she's not a drunk monkey, but she has the nickname Drunky. People call her Drunky for one reason or another.
Drunky monkey? I don't know about those damn things, those damn monkeys. Like I've said before, I think they've had it with us. They've had it with humans.
It bumps me out that he was so sad.
He's very sad.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, wasn't that story about a couple monkey gangs breaking into a school and throwing some kids around and stuff?
Yeah, they're whipping babies off the roofs and...
We've been dicks to them for too damn long, and they're cutting loose now, and they're looking to start trouble.
I kind of love it.
And those Planet of the Apes movies lead me to believe that, this is just the beginning.
Movies? I thought they were documentaries.
I think I got time. This story's frustrating. Really is. Some effing clown down in New Zealand is in trouble for bothering killer whales in the ocean. And at first I was thinking, why would you? And then, of course, the most powerful drug in the world today was involved. Social media attention. I should have known. This effing moron put together a social media video where he tries to jump on top of an orca whale that's swimming next to his boat. The cops caught wind of this nonsense, and they went after the guy for it.
I'd imagine that's a decent way to get killed.
Yeah, I would think so, too.
This effing dork is 50 years old. Says here he jumped off his boat into the waters right on top of an adult male orca and its calf that were swimming nearby.
Oh, that is not a good idea.
Like Josh said, yeah. Surefire way to get killed, but when you're an attention-starved jagoff and you need the acceptance of strangers to try and make yourself interesting, you'll do anything. Just like these effing fools, Josh, we keep reading about who go out to Yellowstone or wherever, the touristy spots out west where you can drive up in your vehicle and see elk and bison and whatnot. We keep seeing reports of douchebags jumping out of their cars and trying to mess with those animals.
Yeah, it just happened again recently.
And then one or two of these idiots gets a hoof to the jaw or an artery pulled out of their thigh by a wild animal, and we're supposed to feel bad?
Yep, I don't feel bad whatsoever.
You asked for it. You got it.
Killer whales, they usually don't attack humans unless they feel threatened, and I imagine this whale felt pretty threatened, especially with its baby involved.
Well, you know what? From watching the video, you're right. I can't argue with you. You're right. But from watching the video, these whales were just thoroughly confused, it seemed to me. Like, what the hell is this? We're just swimming up to say hello.
We're just trying to vibe, man.
And this beer-bellied moron, and his buddies all on the boat thought it was funny, too, because they're douchebags.
Just no respect for animals.
The local cops are pissed, and they're hopefully going to knock this guy around the police station a little bit once they get a hold of him. The local cops are really pissed. Killer whales are protected. Just what a puke bag. Josh, did you know that orcas, or killer whale skis, are members of the dolphin family?
I did know that,
You did?
Are they as horny as dolphins?
One way to find out.
Well, if you didn't know that killer whales are part of the dolphin family, then suck on that.
Have you guys ever seen a whale in person?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, what?
It was-
So I'm the only one? Man.
No, I haven't either, actually.
Oh.
I'm with you.
Let's go see some whales.
Yeah, I'll go whale watching together some weekend.
It was quite thrilling, I must admit. I was in, again, and you're going to say, again, with the Maui. Who does this guy think he is, a big shot?
He's a world traveler.
When I was in Maui, Cubby, we had such a nice setup. It was one of my ex-girlfriend's family had a townhouse kind of a situation right on the stinking ocean. And I didn't know what to expect. And one morning, we're just a-setting on the patio looking out onto the ocean, and next thing you know, kersplash, here come these big fat-ass, I don't know, I'm going to go ahead and guess they were sperm whales. I have no idea. There's some kind of whale. They were just jumping in and out of the water like you might see dolphins do. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was
Yeah,
like,
it's awesome. Ashley, I bet you'd ball, Ashley.
You think?
Oh, definitely. I hope you get a chance to see it.
Bucket list.
It's in a situation where a boat you're on is sinking, and it's the last thing you see.
Oh!
What a way to go out.
Well, you did say you want to die by being eaten by an animal.
Yeah, it's got to be something cool like that.
Yeah, an orca. It was a killer whale.
I would love to feed an orca.
And didn't you also say you'd be fine going to space knowing that there's a good chance you're going to die? You was like, well, that was awesome. I got to see space. That's a good way to end things.
Yes.
It was really crazy seeing an animal the size of a city bus just kind of weep up out of the water and then kablam back down. I shouldn't have had that hit of Maui Wowie before that took off. I'll tell you what. I was freaking out. I thought they were coming to get us. All right, before we go, again, one of these bizarre airport smuggling episodes where it's difficult to understand how someone could get themselves involved in such things. Airport cops found $500,000 worth of baby eels that someone was trying to illegally transport from somewheres to somewheres else. Tiny eels. Also known as elvers, Josh. That's what they call baby eels.
Cute. I had no idea they were worth so much.
I don't get any of this. This was a major seizure of baby eels at an airport in Toronto. How do you call it, Australia? Estimated to be worth $500,000. Here's a direct message from the Canadian Fish Police. They said, our message is crystal clear. Do not travel to Nova Scotia to illegally fish or export elvers this year. Enforcement officers will be waiting for you. See, they don't play games with this,
Guess
right?
not.
I'm just going to read this next part to you. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But just to hear something like this said out loud is a reminder to how different one person's world can be to another. The federal government closed the lucrative elver fishery on March 11th after violence and intimidation plagued last year's fishing season in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Okay, and most of us are saying, wait, what happened? But, that's the most important thing in the world to someone out there, and that's very interesting to me. I'll keep going. It says here the Canadian elver fishery is so out of control that the government shut it down over concerns over overfishing, organized crime, and even death threats.
Oh, man. I suppose when you're dealing with something worth that much money, you're going to get some goofy stuff like that going on.
This is their world. And it's crazy.
Yeah, they're saying it's like basically more expensive than lobsters or salmon. You hear about like some of those lobster fights, things like that, where people are just, it's their livelihood, right?
Yeah.
Smuggling eels in your pants.
That's crazy.
$500,000.
How do you get there?
It would take you all day to explain this to me. But yet in that part of the world, it's this massive, in some cases, life-threatening thing. That blows my mind.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Twins bring in a lefty in Stephen Okert, and heck, he's taking the bullpen cards. Glenn Perkins is so jealous right now. Wow, so jealous of Stephen Okert because Stephen took the ride from the bullpen cart. A little tip.
I wonder if he gave him 5 stars.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that was a funny bit, but I have to admit, when I first read the headline, I felt like I got blue balled a little bit. The headline was, Twins relief pitcher tips bullpen car.
Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
And I thought, I love violence.
Oh, I didn't pick up. I guess I went straight to tipping the cart guy.
The headline, I believe, was Twins relief pitcher tips bullpen car driver. I got so excited after bullpen car, I didn't see the word driver, and I thought, awesome. The hilarious bullpen car tipped over.
I was so excited.
I love violence. I love car crashes. It was a very funny bit that Okert kid pulled off. You know, the Nationals have that bullpen car. Not a lot of ballparks have them. I wish Target Field would get one.
Me too.
So they drive him on over. You know, it's his turn to pitch. Reaches into his pocket, gives the driver a 10 or something like that. That was very funny.
He said he had the cash on him all week, just waiting for a chance to get in a game.
That was funny.
That's so cute. That video's up on 93x.com.
Come on, get me in there.
Check out the video on our website, Ashley says. The Twins did win that series in Washington. We'll tell you more about that. We'll tell you more about the disappointing result from Game 1 of the Wolves Western Conference Final Series with the Dallas Mavericks.
Bring your ass.
Now they know what they're up against, I guess.
Yep.
The Mavericks finished strong. The Wolves did not. Stanley Cup playoff Eastern Conference final Game 1. Florida Panthers beat the New York Rangers 3-0. Randy Shaver will be here in about a half hour. But don't go anywheres, because Josh's news is coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this summer. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst times.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
John brings his skewed sense of humor. Jeff brings tips to cut strokes off your next round. Together, it's those weekend golf guys.
They'll pay a lot of money to PXG and Titleist and Callaway and on and on and on, right? How many yards do you think you're going to pick up with that extra driver? I think I can get an extra 5 to 10. What if I give you 15 to 20? You pay me more.
Jeff Smith teaches on a sliding scale.
Those weekend golf guys, the podcast, part of the Believe Network. Just search BLEAV on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Pretty crazy. I mean, you don't really think about stuff like that happening in your own town, you know? Sad to see, you know? It's really sad to see stuff like this happening.
St. Paul police were called shortly before noon Monday on a report of a man outside a school with a machete. And apparently he used that to threaten staff members. When officers arrived, staff was hysterically yelling and pointing to a man holding the machete, which has seemingly become the world's most popular weaponized landscaping tool lately. They told police the man tried to open a locked door. Another staff member said he saw him with his face pressed up against the glass of the locked door and told him to leave. He gave the staff member the finger, which I'm sure was offensive and hurtful, then kicked the door before going over to his bike and grabbing his machete. Next,
he showed up on a bicycle?
He did, yeah. I mean, they might have meant motorcycle, but I kind of think it was a bicycle.
He has the machete in like his little basket on the front.
Yeah. One of those big banana seats on it, too.
Next, he raised the large blade over his shoulder in a swinging, threatening manner, and the school was put on lockdown. A school maintenance worker encountered the machete man and tried walking him off the school's property, but he raised it again. Once police caught up with the 40-year-old, he struggled with officers who used tear gas to arrest him. When asked if he understood people at the school would be afraid of him waving the machete around, he didn't answer. Instead, he accused police of stealing his bike and money and asked for an attorney.
Oh, you know, Cubby, if I was the 40-year-old guy in the neighborhood who still got around on a bicycle, I might be a machete-swinging maniac as well.
Things just haven't worked out your way, is what you're saying?
He'd finally just hit breaking point.
2 juvenile boys were arrested in Edina Tuesday in connection with threats made against a local middle school.
It's scary, for sure.
Edina Public Schools handled it really well today, that our kids were safe. I look forward to seeing them at the end of the day.
Law enforcement received a report of threats against Valley View Middle School made through Snapchat Monday night. A 13-year-old was detained in connection with the alleged threats.
A 13-year-old?
Yep, when he arrived for school Tuesday. Edina police say they searched the student and held him for questioning before arresting him. Another 13-year-old boy, this one from Bloomington, was arrested in connection with the threats as well. Law enforcement don't believe those threats were credible and say there is no risk to the public. Both the boys were released to their parents pending charges from the Hennepin County Attorney's Office.
So no real threat. They're just the dumb kids in town.
A couple of dorks,
sure,
pretty much. A Rhode Island man was arrested in Providence Tuesday after allegedly stealing a police cruiser. About 5:45 p.m., an officer saw several three-wheelers driving recklessly.
Cool.
Yeah. He attempted to pull one of the men over, who was later identified as 34-year-old Ishmael Lee, before he fled on foot. According to officials, Lee and the officer got into a physical struggle before Lee jumped into the cruiser and drove for about 5 blocks before jumping out.
The subject was able to break loose from that officer, and at the same time, a firearm fell out of that satchel onto the ground. And as you can see behind me, there's a lot of people, kids around. The officer actually did the right thing, seized the firearm.
They quickly caught up with him and brought him to the big house.
Man, I want to know more about those three-wheelers.
Me too.
Those are badass.
I wonder if they meant like the motorcycle-style three-wheeler, like a trike, or an actual three-wheeler.
I was just thinking about the old, red Hondas from back in the day.
A California man was arrested last month after he tried to ram an adult film star's motorcycle and bludgeoned the victim with a golf club.
What the hell?
Oh. 26-year-old James Gosselin attempted to run over adult film actor Hamilton, who the porn actor rode his motorcycle, most likely a Jizuki or a Ducati. Gosselin was jealous because Hamilton had made a porno with his ex-girlfriend Gia.
Really?
Yeah. She broke up with him 2 months prior.
It was really personal, huh?
Yeah, he was upset, so we tried to kill him.
You made a porno with my ex-girlfriend.
In the alleged April 2nd attack, Hamilton was riding his motorcycle when another vehicle twice bumped into his back wheel, causing him to lose his balance and fall. Hamilton told investigators he looked back to see Gosselin try and fail to put on a ski mask before exiting his vehicle wielding a golf club. Gosselin swung and missed several times, but finally managed one shot to Hamilton's lower back. The porn actor was able to tackle Gosselin and break his orbital bone with a punch to the face.
Oh, no.
Man. So the porn star gets knocked off a motorcycle at speed. He gets hit in the back with a golf club, and he wins the fight.
That's awesome. Cool.
Hamilton told an LAPD detective he began receiving text messages the next day from friends warning that Gosselin was out of the hospital and looking for him.
Man.
Dude, just stop. Stop trying to go after this guy.
Wouldn't that be fun to be able to honestly say that? You know, you're at a bachelor party or something, and there's a porno movie running in the background, and, whatever, Peter North shows up, and you can say, I hate that guy. And your buddies say, why? He made a porno with my ex-girlfriend. God, that'd be fun to be able to say.
It's kind of a flex.
Well, once people find out this guy's story about what he did and how he won that fight, I think he's going to be making a lot more pornos, a lot more ex-girlfriends.
He's already a porn star and he's got a motorcycle?
Yeah.
And he beat that guy's ass? Heck yeah. Legend. 2 members of a mini bike gang have been arrested for attacking Beverly Hills 90210 and Sharknado star Ian Ziering in Hollywood New Year's Eve. Probably remember this story.
A mini bike gang?
Yeah. Around 3 p.m., when Ziering and his daughter were sitting in traffic on Hollywood Boulevard, a group of mini bike riders rode down the street adorably. The confrontation began when one of the mini bike riders damaged the actor's vehicle. 3 to 4 additional mini bike riders all jumped in and assaulted Ziering. Most of the melee was caught on camera by bystanders, showing the moments the bikers swarmed him and began throwing punches and kicks, even as he tried to run onto the sidewalk. One of the bikers can be seen swinging an unknown object at Ziering, narrowly missing him. Police said that after the attack, the riders then vandalized his car while his 10-year-old daughter remained in the front seat. Investigators say the videos and information provided by witnesses to the melee were crucial to their investigation.
What have they got against this Ian character?
Well, it sounds like one of them ran into his car.
Did he make a porno with one of their ex-girlfriends?
It's possible. He's a good-looking guy. And they exchanged some words.
Okay.
And then 4 of them decide to handle the actor.
So it wasn't so much a planned attack. Let's get that bastard from Sharknado.
Don't think so.
Okay.
Angry about the amount of water her 72-year-old neighbor was using to clean his motorcycle, an 80-year-old Florida woman allegedly spit on the man and yanked on his beard. Sandra Rogers was in her apartment Friday afternoon when she spotted John Ferroni cleaning his wheels. Rogers, who ironically enough lives on Peaceful Lane, walked over to Ferroni's nearby residence in their 55 and over community and started yelling at him regarding his water usage.
She's the water Nazi in town?
She is.
Okay.
Rogers, who social media is calling a Karen, used her flip phone to take photos of the wet spots. Again, she's 80.
Uh-huh.
So, she's got a flip phone. She took photos of the wet spots on the roadway so she could file a report to management. During the squabble, the 5'3" Rogers allegedly spit on Ferroni and used her right hand and pulled the victim's beard. A neighbor who witnessed the confrontation told cops Rogers was the aggressor.
You know, there's some men that where if you're spitting on them and then yanking on their beard, you're going to turn them on.
I'd imagine you running a crowd like that for sure.
I'm not afraid to beat an 80-year-old's ass.
A Utah woman was rescued Sunday night at a popular Utah canyon after her hair reportedly got tangled in a rappelling device. Owie.
Rappelling device?
Yeah. When crews,
I see where you go that way with the things. Yeah.
When crews got to the scene around 9 p.m., the woman had been freed from the device by her companions, who also administered initial care and bandaged her injuries. Sounded like she got hurt pretty bad. Paramedics then took over treatment while Grand County Search and Rescue set up a technical lowering system. Apparently, it was kind of a tough rescue. When they finally got her to the ground, they said it was a, quote, multi-stage complex rope system amidst challenging windy and raining conditions.
Wow.
They also commended the prepared canyoneering companions for their calm and effective response in attending to their injured friend. And yet another freak accident, this time in Oregon. A 28-year-old woman was seriously injured after being brutally crushed last month by a piano. Danielle Drummond was helping a friend move the large instrument when her friend lost his grip and dropped the whole upright piano on top of her, sadly paralyzing her from the waist down, but she's got a good attitude about it.
He dropped the whole upright grand piano on me. Now I'm paralyzed from the waist down. I was just willing to help, and I guess I didn't think it was going to paralyze me.
Drummond said she bent over to put something underneath the piano. It slipped, and her friend lost leverage.
Holy.
That's awful.
Balls.
And a Colorado Springs fire department rescued a man from a garbage truck Tuesday. According to the department, the man was asleep inside a dumpster when the truck picked him up and proceeded to dump him inside. The driver continued their route until they heard the man calling out for help. Crews used a ladder on a fire truck to remove the man, who was taken to a hospital, luckily with only minor injuries.
Minor injuries.
They say he's going to be just fine. A 27-year-old was taken into custody for indecent exposure and aggravated criminal trespass in Nashville Sunday after two police told police a male, later identified as Ryan Schattenberg, was in the backyard of their residence. They told dispatchers they didn't know him or how he got there. They said Schattenberg tried to open the back door. Then they stated Schattenberg took off all of his clothes and started, quote, beating off. When officers... Yeah, that's what they said, quote, unquote. When officers arrived, they placed Schattenberg, genitals still exposed, in their patrol car. He started to speak incoherently, saying that he lived at that house, and he had just bought it. However, when officers asked what the address was, he had no idea.
He's still masturbating at this point?
No, he wasn't masturbating anymore. He also told officers he was looking for his friend Moses, and God had sent him there.
Oh, and now he's got his bare balls in the back of their trooper.
Also in Nashville that day, when 26-year-old Spencer Ross Peck was found passed out, witnesses flagged officers down. He was unresponsive and reeked of alcohol. He couldn't stand on his own and exhibited signs of intoxication, so police called for medics, who he decided to punch one in the face. Then he kicked an officer in the stomach, and while at the hospital, he urinated on himself twice. On the way to booking, he started banging his head on the divider and kicking the window, so officers had to hobble him. He's facing several charges.
Yeah, that sounds like you'd be up against something with that kind of behavior.
That dude likes to party, I guess. I don't know. If you pee on yourself once, certainly more than once, I think you kind of lose. Any credibility you had being a tough guy, it's gone. Yeah. The Price is Right at Night airs this evening on CBS at 7 o'clock.
Oh, is that something you're looking forward to?
It's been a long time. I don't think I've watched The Price is Right without Bob Barker, actually.
I never really got involved.
Even in the Bob Barker days?
I mean, sure, I watched a little bit
in the summer?
Yo, the summer was great every day.
I mean, I was well aware of the show and Bob Barker, but it wasn't ever something that I intentionally turned on my television.
Yeah, we used to watch that every morning. My grandma would make us watch that with her, which I didn't mind at all. But I wasn't interested in The Young and the Restless directly afterwards.
Yep.
She had to watch that.
They lose you pretty quickly there.
I know an old boy to this day where you cannot call him until 11 a.m. for any reason because he is watching The Price is Right. I think I have the right time window there.
At least it used to be 10 a.m.
Yep, still 10 a.m.
He will not answer, and he will be upset if anyone tries to bother him between 10 and 11 a.m.
And streaming on Paramount Plus, the 4th season premiere of Evil. Happy birthday to Dan from Welding Jesus, and that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
He's very hairy and has a great disposition. Like I said, he loves to hug and he loves to give kisses.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
On this, Doncic got a hand on it. Irving controls. Game is over. And the Dallas Mavericks have come from behind to beat Minnesota in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals.
Terrible offense down the stretch. Bad shots, turnovers, no composure. So we got to be better in clutch moments.
Kyrie, you at home minding your business the other night. And then the young fella says, I got Kyrie. That's the most aggressive you've been in a long time. I know that had to irk you a little bit.
Use it as a motivation. So you're right. I was at home with my family watching Game 7.
You just minding your own business.
And then Ant comes out and says, I got Kyrie, but also that's a no-fear mentality, and that's why we love Ant.
We came out flat today, and then we found our energy, then we went back to being flat. So, man, y'all can see it was a step behind everybody, especially myself. Kyrie got a transition layup from, I think we scored, and he just outran me, and I was just exhausted, man. So we'll be all right.
Randy Shaver.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, though?
Well, it looks like Game 7 against Denver caught up with the T-Wolves last night.
You think so?
Yep. I think they look tired. I think that was part of Dallas's strategy, was to run at them right away and just kind of see where they were physically after having gone 7 tough games with Denver, and it paid off for them last night.
Yeah, we're up and running with this Western Conference final gimmick with the Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks. It was a disappointing result from Game 1. The Mavericks finished strong in a close ball game. They swiped Game 1 by a score of 108 points to 105. I said earlier, now the boys know what they're up against. I think Dallas surprised the Wolves with how effective their big men can be on drive and dish type plays.
Yeah.
That play was open and effective all night long.
Yep.
The Mavericks were scoring a lot of points in the paint. I think before the series wasn't the overall opinion that, the Wolves will dominate the paint. Look at the big bodies they've got. And what did the Mavericks score? 62-38 was the final score in the paint.
And out-rebounded the Wolves by 8, 48-40. So, yeah, it was very disappointing. But I think the bottom line is, your stars have to be stars, right? Your stars have to be stars when you get to this level of the playoffs. Your stars have to be the players that lead your group. And last night, Irving was early and Doncic was late. And between the two of them, those two stars clearly outplayed our stars in Edwards and Towns last night. And that was the difference. I mean, no offense to Jaden McDaniels. I love his game. He's getting better and better.
Damn, he was sharp last night.
Gosh, I love him. He's incredible.
But if he's your leading scorer, I'm sorry, chances are pretty good you're not going to win the game.
No, I think everyone understands that, and there's no need to apologize for a statement like that. Anthony Edwards said after the game Jaden was the only one who came ready to play tonight, and I think the rest of us let him down.
Bring your ass.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff is easy to say. You sit here and scratch your head as to how that's even possible. It's Game 1 of the Western Final at home. How is it that only one guy brought his game to play?
You've never liked that statement. That's one thing
I think that statement is just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
you're 22 years old. It's Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. How did you not show up ready to play?
Come on. I just don't. Why not just say the truth? You didn't play very well. You didn't play as well as you could have. It's not that you didn't show up. You were there. You were ready to go, just like everybody else. The the shots didn't fall. You got beat a few times on defense. You made some bad decisions down the stretch. That's really what happened last night. They weren't in foul trouble. There wasn't other things going on. They just got outplayed. They got outplayed, and Luka Doncic down the stretch was just phenomenal. Say what you want about the guy. I mean,
he was very, very tame last night.
Yeah, I think he's focused, Nick.
Yes.
I think that's scary. If you're an opponent of the Mavericks, and it's like when you're an opponent of the Wolves, and Cat is poised. Because when Cat loses his mind on foul calls he thinks he should be getting, that he loses concentration.
Takes himself out of the game.
And Doncic can be that same way, maybe even more extreme. But,
yes.
But last night, I agree with you. He was like measured. Everything was measured last night.
Yeah, I spent a good amount of time yesterday talking about how he's the biggest crybaby in the league, and that's still true. But as soon as that, I don't know, after the first quarter and a half, I thought, he hasn't done a hell of a lot of complaining, and I think that is because he's focused. And I don't think he wants to be piling up technical fouls here in the playoffs. But, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious he said to himself, okay, you got to keep your cool, keep your composure. We can do the bit again from the movie. Right. He seems like he's on a different mindset right now. I think the boys need to be more aggressive on Doncic, pressure him right away instead of that drop-back defense that was talked about a lot during last night's game.
Yeah, I think you'll probably see a change in strategy defensively on Friday night.
I thought it could have happened a little quicker last night.
Probably could have.
Because the last quarter, I think they started to be a little more aggressive with Doncic. Hell, they could have done that a lot quicker.
Yeah, but he was so effective in the fourth. What did he score, like 15 in the fourth quarter by himself? I mean, he's just a great player. And we put our best defensive guy on him. And if that's what's going to happen each night of this series, that's going to be a problem for the Wolves because and when you he's like Jokic. When you concentrate on him and you try to take him away, he will find other people open. That's the kind of player he is.
Rectal Larson Jesus has texted in to say, season's over. It was fun while it lasted.
Oh, shut up. It's game one. Wolves in 5. Last night was the first time I ever saw Luka play, obviously, because I'm a fair weather fan.
Right.
And he does not look like he should be playing basketball. Like, just his face and, his stature.
Yeah, Jokic.
He looks like he should, have an IT job or something.
He gets criticized all the time for the shape that he keeps himself in.
Sometimes it looks like he doesn't know how to dribble, too.
Yeah, I don't. It's just like the vibe he gives off.
Jokic and Doncic each look like they're exhausted when they're out on the court. They look like they're dead tired. When they're not, they're not tired. They're in great shape. But they both look that way when they're out there. And it's deceiving. I mean, he's just a tremendous player. And when Irving gets off to the start he did last night, that did not help the Wolves to have Kyrie.
He was quick.
In the game right away because he's been a slow starter in these playoffs this year, but not last night. And you guys played the audio. He was fired up when Ant, put it out there that he was going to guard Irving. The bulletin board stuff is stuff the Wolves don't need to be getting into. I love.
Well, that wasn't bulletin board stuff to me.
It is.
They made a big deal out of nothing on that one.
It is and it isn't, though.
All he said was, I want to guard Kyrie. What's he supposed to say? I'm not guarding Kyrie. He scares me.
I understand, but I'm just saying those kind of things. You don't hear the Dallas Mavericks saying those things, right? I mean, I'm just saying that. That's all.
But Anthony didn't say anything. To me, it seemed almost like respectful, like he was looking forward to guarding such a great player.
I didn't take it that
way.
Give
me a break.
And pro athletes can turn the smallest thing into a huge
They have the most fragile egos on planet Earth.
Well, they do that on purpose to fire themselves up.
Sure. No, they don't. They just have You always say that. No, they're just fragile people is what they are.
They are not.
They don't turn it into motivation. They're fragile people.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Well, Irving said pretty much what you said, Nick. He said, hey, it was out of respect. I used it as motivation, but it was out of respect.
Exactly. People made a big deal of I think Dallas's defense was better than expected, and I think the boys tightened up a little bit late in the game. The spotlight got big, and they tightened up. They had, I believe, one bucket in the final 3 minutes. That's not going to be good enough. But now they know what they're up against.
And game 2 Friday night is absolutely necessary.
Yep.
They will have to win game 2 because if they go back to Dallas down 2-0, it still may go 5 games or 6 games, but that's not the position you want to be in. You've already given the Mavericks home court advantage back, and the worst thing that can happen is for the Wolves to not come out of Friday night with a win.
A lot of text messages coming in. What about Kyle Anderson? Yeah, Kyle was sharp last night. What about
the heck was that?
Yeah, really. Where was that?
Well, that was what Kyle did all year last year. He just hasn't had a great year. That's what Kyle does. What about the missed free throws? Yeah, that hurts. A lot of folks want to talk about Karl Anthony Towns having that late game dunk taken away because of basket.
It was inside the cylinder.
It was a little.
It was inside the cylinder.
Can you explain? I was confused too.
The cylinder goes all the way up.
Yes,
right,
straight up
from the ball. If the ball is inside the cylinder, it cannot be touched.
I think it was pretty friggin' close.
Well,
friggin' close.
They reviewed it, and if they reviewed it and they said it was inside the cylinder, I thought it was inside the cylinder when I looked at the replays. That's the call.
The imaginary cylinder, just
That's
for the
correct.
record.
No,
the
that's
imaginary
correct.
cylinder.
But it's still inside the cylinder.
Isn't it fun that there's a rule in a professional sport where your imagination comes into play?
So dumb.
I thought it was pretty friggin' close. If I'm the ref, I don't make that call in the NBA conference finals, but these guys are douchebags and they don't know what they're doing.
Stop it, Zach. Stop it, Zach.
Zach, we're trying to talk basketball, bud.
The refereeing in the NBA is horrible. It's the worst of the big four sports.
The worst.
It's absolutely but by a landslide, it's the worst.
Well, as we mentioned before, they're just awful people, those referees.
They are.
Just as human beings.
Yep.
As human beings.
Game 2 here tomorrow night. I love that Timberwolves fans dumped the Draymond sucks chant on the TNT crew as they were broadcasting from inside Target Center.
That's awesome. Meantime, we've mentioned how long it's been, Draymond, that since we've had the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals, goes back to.
Is Kyle? Here's a text. What happened?
I love that.
Oh, did the audio get cut off? Was that your computer?
No, that was just the end of the clip. That was the
end. Questions coming in from listeners. Is Kyle Anderson the son of former Viking kicker Gary Anderson? Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Are the Dallas Mavericks who we thought they were?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, with a little extra.
And we let them off the hook.
With a little extra. They are who we thought they were, but also a little more after watching Game 1.
Yeah, we let them off the hook.
This is interesting, too. Back to the crowd going after Draymond Green for good reason. The real intrigue, according to uprocks.com, will come the first time the Wolves get a win in this series and one of their players come to join the TNT set for their little post-game interview. Green is still an active player, and like any NBA fan outside of Oakland, I don't think a lot of Timberwolves players like Draymond Green so much. I'd like to see Rudy Gobert up there with the TNT guys.
That would be interesting.
Let's see who gets choked this time.
That'd be cool if they put him up there.
I want. Don't you?
Oh, if I was a producer for that show, I would be running right for Gobert.
Someone's definitely thinking about that.
Dude. The Wolves won, and Rudy got 2 points and 2 rebounds. Get him up here.
Get him up.
What about Edwards? He scored 46. No, get Gobert up here.
Edwards went for 80 last night. No, we need Gobert.
Just sitting a little behind Green, making him nervous the whole time. Get ready to get choked.
I would love that. It's ruined the NBA on TNT for me, even last night, with it being Game 1 here in town. You know, they're broadcasting from inside Target Center. Yeah, I didn't turn the sound up because I cannot stand.
Well, I guess I don't understand why he is a part of that group when Shaq was there. I thought maybe Shaq wasn't going to make it and he was filling in, but he wasn't filling in. They just added him.
Like I said yesterday, they're pushing.
He doesn't add anything.
Something happened behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. You're right. He adds nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
something happened behind the scenes. Someone owed Steve Kerr a favor, and they're trying to repair his image. There's something shady. There's no reason why that guy, with his track record and the fact that he adds nothing to the mix at all, there's no reason for him to be there.
I think we all assumed that Shaq or one of the four guys was not going to be there. And that's why, Vince Carter's filled in the past, and that's why we thought he was going to be here, but it's not. And I was actually surprised when I turned it on last night and saw that all five were sitting there. I'm going, that just doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't get it.
They could use a little bit bigger table, too, for those five men.
Well, I mean,
it's a little cramped.
With four guys, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
When you cram the fifth guy in, it's a little bit tougher.
See, here's medical device Jesus. Okay, I was wrong.
Oh, God, not him.
I know, I don't like him much either. Michigan State guy and everything.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
not a lot to like there.
It's all
but
about Draymond.
he is correct. No. He doesn't want to say anything yet about Draymond Green. Usually he defends Draymond Green. He makes a fool of himself. Kyle Anderson is not the son of former Viking kicker Gary Anderson. But yes, you're right, medical device Jesus. It was Kyle Anderson's shoe who came off in that Vikings game against the Rams. It was part of what made Jerry Burns so angry. His shoe comes off. That was Kyle Anderson.
That's not Anderson's fault.
That's good.
Well, here's another text that says, you guys need to stop blaming the Timberwolves' performance for the loss when the real reason was because of the horrible refereeing. No. Someone else said, if you're going to talk about the terrible call against Carl, what about the call against Minnesota Mike? I don't know what call. What are we referring to there?
Oh, when Mike Conley got called for
the push in the back?
Yep.
Yeah, his hand was on him.
Yeah,
and the guy had
on
a...
him.
Right, but it was a flop.
Oh, yeah, but you go back and review it. The guy did have his hand on his back. There was a push.
No, there wasn't. His hand was on his back. There was no push. It was all drama. I thought when you review something like that. No, there wasn't.
There was.
No, Randy, what video did you watch?
Watched it.
The dude dove. It was a friggin' acting job. The ref should be able to see that in a review and say it wasn't a foul. A foul is how you say it. And plus, Mike Conley weighs, 156 pounds? He's going to send a guy into the first row of seats? I don't think so. The NBA refs are the worst in the world. I thought it was pretty cool that Carl showed up last night wearing a Malik Sealy jersey.
That was cool.
That was awesome.
Yes.
That's on 93X.com.
How long has it been since
God.
Malik passed away?
Somebody tell me. 22 years or something?
KG was playing here,
Yes.
right? So they were good friends.
More than 20 years?
What a terrible, terrible night that was.
That was a horrible night.
24 years.
24
years.
Just a couple days ago, May 20th was the 24-year anniversary.
Oh, that's why he wore the jersey.
Oh, just a couple days ago was the terrible.
It was the anniversary.
If you want to call it an anniversary, whatever the proper word is.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that very well. I came into work here at the radio station, and I had not watched any news or anything, and then I don't know what popped up. What did we use back then, Josh? Were they scrolls that were delivered to the radio station?
Yeah, tablets.
There were big.
People would have to carve them into stone.
Concrete tablets were delivered to the front
door. Now it's the newspaper.
Now it's the newspaper.
Ashley, you know what that is?
Yes, I do. My parents still get it.
Your parents do?
Yes.
Put it at the bottom of the bird cage.
I used to read the comics every Sunday morning.
I remember that very well. Crushing to learn that morning that Malik died in a terrible car accident.
And it was not, the circumstances of the accident were horrible. I mean, it was a guy going the wrong way on Highway 100.
Right.
He had taken the exit ramp, and hit him head on, and it was just Malik had no chance to get out of the way. It's just the whole circumstances surrounding that was devastating, just awful.
It was, and if you're too young to remember Malik Sealy, when he went to college at St. John's, I mean, he was everything, big scorer, but But tell me if my memory...
good defensive player, though.
That's where I'm going with this, and I guess my memory isn't off. When he got into the NBA, he kind of became an elite defender. He's kind of like what we see today from Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah, he was a 6th, 7th man off the bench who brought energy and scoring, and he just kind of was an all-around great player. He was a very good locker room guy.
Yeah.
And that's why the Wolves loved him, because they had a young club at the time, and Malik Sealy was kind of that veteran influence. And, he and KG were tight. They were tight.
Yeah. Here's a text from St. Cloud, Minnesota. That much I know. It doesn't look like there's a name connected to the message, but it must be directed at you, Randy. It just says right here, stop being a bitch about the Wolves game.
That wasn't me.
So everybody get excited. Now we know where Charles Barkley went to dinner when he came to Minneapolis. He went to Manny's Steakhouse.
Fancy.
I would hope so.
It is a delicious place to go.
Yes.
But it was kind of silly how everyone was playing with themselves at the idea of, oh, my God, where is Charles going to go? Right. That's right here in my hometown. I live in Minneapolis, and he's going to go to dinner here? But he went to Manny's. Was that Charles right there?
That was Charles, yeah.
Bring yo ass. We're here, he said. Manny's. But it says here Charles likes his steaks well done. That angers some people.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
People are very passionate about that topic.
I mean, do whatever you want, but, like, gross.
Really?
My uncle's rolling over in his grave right now.
Well, I love mine well done.
Do you really?
Yeah, so do my parents. Yeah,
yes, I do.
It makes people cringe when they find that out about my folks.
Why would that make you cringe?
Because I guess it takes away so much of the flavor, and so people are like, oh my gosh, like you're not actually eating a steak. That's just eating bark or something.
Yeah, my uncle would always say, when they asked how he wanted it done, he'd say, just slap it. That's it. Just slap it a little bit. Yeah, he didn't want that thing cooked at all.
I get, some people. But
that is one of those things, you're right, Nick, where people can get kind of weirdly mad.
Yeah. Let's not, have a friggin' argument because I didn't cook my meal the way you prefer it. That gets a little much at times, but I understand.
It's kind of like how you get mad when people criticize folks for what they put on hot dogs. You're like, hey, it's their hot dog. Let them put whatever they want on that thing. Good point.
I'm nothing if not open-minded.
That's right. People say it all the time. And consistent.
Yes, exactly.
Barkley likes his steaks well done, Ski. Yeah, my mama wants you to leave a steak or a hamburger on the grill until it is just about dead.
It's like a hockey puck.
She likes it like that.
You're a foodie, Wapple. Where do you go on this?
God dang foodies.
I'm not like raw on steak, but definitely has to be red.
Mm-hmm.
Like a medium rare?
Yeah, medium rare, definitely. Yeah, but my mom always, same like you guys, my mom had to have it well, and my dad was like,
He had to be a dick about it.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards was named to the All-NBA second team, okay? The second team.
Yep.
All right, that's cute. Good for him. No, I mean, honestly, that's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, it is.
One more note here on the Tim, well, my friggin' wife, she showed me a funny video last night. She found some website. I don't know how these things operate. She's got her cell phone out and everything. You guys know how that works. She found some funny NBA videos. A great animation, really funny stuff. I believe the website or something is called Riot Comedy. And they do these great cartoon, funny videos, including every team in the NBA. You can find a funny video on whoever plays for the Washington Wizards. This is just what they do. They make these funny videos. The one that she showed me last night, back to the Wolves-Denver Nuggets series, it was cartoon Nikola Jokic and cartoon Jamal Murray standing side by side, okay? Cartoon Jokic is all beat up in the video. And he says, you got to help me, Jamal. I'm getting torn up by these wolves. And cartoon Jamal Murray says, don't worry, Nicky. That's what he calls Nikola Jokic in the cartoon. Don't worry, Nicky. I'll get him with my trusty heating pad. And cartoon Jokic says, heating pad? What are you, on your period? That I almost fell out of my chair. And obviously, it's killing the rest of you, too. It's just killing you.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, these are very funny. What did I do?
I've never heard this one before. This person says, I like my steak cooked where a good veterinarian can bring it back to life.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
If you don't mind, I'd like to steal that, if you're okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good line.
I've never heard that.
What the hell did I say that website was called again?
Riot? Something?
To uncrumple this. Riot Comedy. I'm telling you, basketball fans, you'll love this. It's very, very funny. In all of the videos the friggin' wife showed me more than one Wolves-related video. In every Wolf, I'm gonna try to save this because for some reason you guys hated that Nugget scenario. In all the videos featuring the Wolves, when Karl Anthony Towns starts to talk, he goes, "Hey, I don't know." Hey, I don't know if we want to. Because you know how when Karl has that...
when he gets excited, yeah.
In every video, he starts out with the high voice, and then he... actually, what I meant to say was...
That's so cute.
Oh, thank you, Ashley. Thank you. The Twins won that series in Washington. Carlos Correa. So. You would hope so?
Yes.
You don't like the Washington...
They're not a very good club.
Whatever they're called. Yeah. Carlos Correa got the dong out. Made a diving play to prevent a run in the 7th inning. Twins beat the Nationals 3-2.
They beat the Bloomington kid, Jake Irvin.
Oh, sure.
Didn't pitch terribly, but...
And some of you might be saying, well, what has Max Kepler, what has the Strudel done for me lately? Oh, he hit a solo bomb. He doubled. He scored a run.
He's their best hitter right now.
Heck yeah, he is.
He's their best 4 average hitter right now.
He's hopped over the catcher?
Oh, Jeffers has kind of fallen off a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you.
Kepler's hitting over 300 right now.
He just needed that little break a couple months ago, and now he's doing great.
Do you think this television thing is going to be solved? Because it's gotten to the point now where...
I'm not convinced it will be.
So you think I should do something about this? What do you do?
You're kind of like in a catch-22, right? Because if you do something and then they solve it, you're going to go, God darn it, why did I do that? So I don't know, maybe be a little bit more patient. Maybe by the time we get into mid-June, if it hasn't happened by then, I don't know. I'm in the same boat you are, Nick. I have Comcast. I can't watch it. I don't see it. I'm not going to change my provider. Let these knuckleheads figure it out. I'm not going to do that.
I know it's not the same, Nick, but I could set it up. I get all the alerts on my phone. I mean, it tells you everything that happens, every pitch, every single thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
I
appreciate
but it's something
it.
I can kind of keep up with what's going on.
Nick, have you heard of the internet? Because if you have...
Wapple showed me once.
Yeah. You can watch the game on a... Gamecast on your computer.
I have GameCube.
Not the actual game.
Those are cool. Those Gamecasts are kind of cool.
You guys want to come over and play sometime? I have GameCube.
Yeah, absolutely.
2003?
I had a GameCube. That was cool.
What movie again was that? Malibu's Most Wanted. I know the internet. Okay, yeah, I'm just.
It's not the same. I get it.
I'm disheartened by all this. Yeah. It's so strange sitting here every day and talking about the games, and I didn't see. I mean, I watched the highlights at night.
Right.
It's just so strange. I hate this.
Right.
I'm unfamiliar with one of my favorite teams.
And you are not alone. There's a lot of Twins fans out there. I see it on social. I've had a couple of people come up to me and ask me if they think this thing is going to get solved. I honestly don't. I don't know. It's just not. If Bally Sports wasn't in the financial position that they're in right now, this thing probably wouldn't have even happened. But because they're in the financial situation they're in, I think that makes it less likely that this thing will get solved.
Double balls.
At least the Twins aren't doing amazingly well. You know what I mean?
Well, the Wolves are distracting everything.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's also true.
Once the Wolves season ends, however it ends, then people's attention will turn to the Twins. And at that point, maybe there'll be some more pressure put on both sides to figure it out. I don't know.
The Twins have a day off today, and then they start a series at home against the World Series champion Texas Rangers. It's all part of a 7-game homestand. So I guess maybe I could take myself out to the live event.
And that's the game they moved up, right? It's now a 6 o'clock start.
Time-wise on Friday, yes.
Are you talking about...
to accommodate the traffic and everything downtown.
Are you talking about take me out to the ball game, Nick?
Wah-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Yeah, what do you mean?
Oh, that's how you were starting it. I guess I'm going to have to take...
myself
to the ball game.
Ball game. Maybe I should have just started singing the damn song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they moved up the game time for tomorrow night's Twins game because of all the hell being raised in Minneapolis with the Timberwolves. Tomorrow at Target Field, it's also Star Wars night Now, I think you'll want to be there for this. The first 5,000 fans in attendance receive a Star Wars/Twins light or dark side reversible bucket hat.
That sounds
There you
cute.
go.
I know which side you'd wear.
Yes, I always like the bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I could reverse the bucket hat. Now I'm on the... Isn't that the cutest thing you've heard all day?
Yes.
It's the light or dark side reversible bucket hat. I look good in a bucket hat.
I don't know if I've ever wore one.
It's like the hot new trend.
The bucket hat?
Oh, are they in?
Kind of fell off a little bit, but I think it's starting to come back.
Yeah, last year was
Josh, you
huge.
look like a lampshade on you.
Would you like to turn me on?
Oh, God.
Then you have that little sunscreen on your nose.
Exactly. See you at the beach.
Randy Shaver, we just got done talking about how neither one of us, and we're not alone, get to see Twins games anymore. Did you see the fun gimmick that Twins relief pitcher Stephen Okert pulled off yesterday in Washington?
I saw the tipping of the driver.
Yes.
Twins bring in a lefty in Stephen Okert, and heck, he's taking the bullpen cards. Glenn Perkins is so jealous right now. Wow, so jealous of Stephen Okert because Stephen took the ride from the bullpen cart. A little tip.
I wonder if he gave him 5 stars.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of
That was
fun.
pretty good.
I wonder how much money he gave him.
I think I read $5.
I don't think it's any of either your business.
Maybe cool
how
if he
much,
handed him a couple hundred.
That was a private transaction.
It was a private. First off, we've mentioned this before. Target Field should get the bullpen car the way Washington and just a couple other ballparks do the old school bullpen car and drive the relief pitchers out onto the bump.
Yeah.
Was this thing shaped like a batting helmet? Because back when I was a kid, they were all shaped like a batting helmet.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Or
Cool.
was it the baseball and then the bats? I can't remember what
I don't remember either. It's
I
on
don't
our
know what it
website.
was shaped like.
I can't remember.
I didn't pay attention.
Well, I know when Glenn Perkins was pitching for the Twins, he was petitioning, trying to get them to get a bullpen car, but he said he could never get anything kind of off the ground, get any movement on it.
That sucks.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Do you have to take the bullpen cart, or can you say, nah?
I think you can turn it down if you like, Wapple.
Okay.
All right. So, Okert's in the cart, gets driven to the mound, handed the driver a few bucks, like you'd tip any driver. That was cute.
Oh, you're right, Wapple. It's like a little baseball with a little cap on it. That's cute.
Yeah,
So
and
it's a
got-
baseball that has a hat on top of the...
Yeah, and then the thing holding up, like where the windshield would be, is baseball bats.
I told everyone earlier, Randy Shaver, I got excited when I read the headline where it said Twins reliever tips cart. And I thought, this will be fun to watch. An accident on the ball field. Oh, God, does everyone have all their limbs? But instead, he tips the driver.
He takes the governor off the thing and hits that turn down the third baseline a little too sharp. Goes rolling into the dugout.
Now, the Cincinnati Reds manager, a fellow by the name of David Bell, he hurt himself in the dugout. This is always fun for baseball fans when the manager or the players hurt themselves in the dugout while having a full-on adult-style temper tantrum. He was pissed off after one of his players got plunked by a pitch in the first inning. The Reds were playing San Diego yesterday. So David Bell works himself into quite a frenzy over that. He goes back to the dugout. He kicks the piss out of a chair and then he starts throwing it. And then the chair bit him on the hand and tore his hand up for him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Later on in the game, he was spotted with a towel wrapped around his hand. I think he had to get some stitches.
Ah, rookie.
You can see that on 93x.com.
Yes, it's all right. It's not one of the greatest meltdowns, but yeah, he...
You kind of miss those meltdowns, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
The Earl Weaver, turn the hat backwards, put the chaw in your face, the Lou Fregosi or Lou Piniella, kicking the dirt on the home plate and the bases.
Yeah.
God, those were the days, man. Gardy looking like a tomato.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that? Just those things are just... We missed that.
Who was that manager that liked to crawl up to the mound and then he threw the rosin bag like a grenade?
Well,
I think that was in a minor league.
That was
game
a minor league goofball.
That guy was great.
That was funny, though.
I think he stole second base and then crawled up to the pitcher's mound, threw it like a grenade.
That was quite a few years ago. Personally,
Cool.
I always believed that was a scripted gimmick. It was minor league baseball.
I think so.
That was a gimmick, trying to get people to show up. I mean, it was well done. Don't get me wrong.
It worked.
Yeah, it was well done.
Got my attention.
Did everyone see the prank that the Dodgers pulled on Shohei Ohtani?
Yes. I did not.
Randy Shaver, this was a lot of fun. Here he is, one of the best hitters in the game.
Oh, you got it on your website. That's where I'm going right now.
That's where it is.
One of the best hitters in the game, and they got him good. So the Dodgers are trailing Arizona 7-3. It's the bottom of the 8th. Ohtani's coming up to bat. But still, even though they're losing the game, the Dodgers are able to have some fun. During a pitching change by the D-backs, Ohtani's standing in the dugout, batting helmet on, and a right-handed batter by the name of Miguel Rojas puts on a helmet and walks past Ohtani up the steps as though he's pinch hitting for Ohtani.
Reliever came in, a lefty came in for Ohtani, and during the pitching change, Miguel Rojas put his helmet on and with a straight face walked up the steps, and they'd let Shohei know, yeah, we're going to hit for you. Yeah, we get the platoon advantage here. Still doesn't know they're kidding.
That's good.
The look on Shohei's face is pretty funny.
Yeah.
He is shocked. He is confused. But then he kind of smiles at Rojas as if to say, go ahead, man, do your best. What a great friggin' bit.
Rojas must have said something like, hey, I got you, guy.
Yeah.
As he's going up the steps. And then Ohtani looks at him like, what?
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Eventually, he was let in on the joke.
And the look on his face right when he walks up the steps, so it's just like.
That's good.
It would have been great, too, if it was like a relief pitcher or someone that went past him.
Oh, my God.
Insomniac Jesus texting in Lloyd McClendon when he managed the Pirates back in the day. He was according to Insomniac Jesus, and no one's arguing it, he was an overly dramatic manager. He had tantrums on the field. Yes, Lloyd McClendon. I remember him very well. One of my favorites was it Frank White, Randy Shaver, who was a Royals player and then became a Royals manager.
I think it's Hal McRae.
Oh, Hal McRae. You're right. Hal McRae with his telephone meltdown in his office is one of my favorites.
It is one of the most famous ones. Yes.
Dude, if you don't know that, look it up on YouTube. Yeah. He's in his office. It's like 94. He's got a big, fat, heavy phone on his desk, and he completely loses.
It was 1993. I'm just looking it up right now. There's a website that has like the 11 most famous managerial meltdowns ever. And Wally Backman is on there. Do you remember Wally?
Of course I do.
Oh, yeah.
He was nuts.
Yeah.
He was part of the 86 Mets. They were all nuts.
He was a player,
yes.
man. Even with the Twins, he was nuts.
Yes. But Hal McRae is so mad at something a reporter asked him that he becomes this whirling dervish of anger. He grabs the telephone off the desk, the whole works, the console that you hang.
This is not like a cell phone, guys.
No.
This is like the old-fashioned telephone.
And the best part about when he throws it into the wall is he spins while he's doing it. Just whee! He spins in a circle.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Oh, Randy Shaver, the Stanley Cup playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1. Florida beat the New York Rangers 3-0. Tonight, Game 1 of the Western side of things, the Edmonton Oilers at the Dallas Stars, formerly the Minnesota North Stars,
Yes.
Fun fact.
I haven't been dialed into this stuff at all. It just is what it is for me these days. I don't know.
You can't follow everything.
No.
There's just too much going on.
No, it's just a funny feeling, It used to be, my God, I was just rabid about the...
Well, you had other things. You had less things in life going on.
Well,
yeah, he's married now. He's got that honeydew list.
Now you got life going on.
Got the friggin' wife. Yeah. Good God. She brought up whores again yesterday, went after me about how I...
Oh, did she again?
Yeah.
What prompted this one?
At the end of the night last night, she seemed upset. And I said, are you all right? And she said, no. And I said, are you upset with me? And she said, yes. And I said, what's that, Randy?
No, go ahead.
And I said, well, what are you upset about? And she said, well, just the whores.
I feel you,
And
girl.
then I went into bed. I don't think she likes my somewhat checkered past.
You don't think so?
John?
Well, she was there through all of it.
Yeah, but I think it's now setting in. It's setting in now that she's disgusted by my past, I think.
It's I've never met someone who didn't like whores until her. She hates whores.
Yes.
I mean, it's weird because you love whores, but you're married.
I do.
All right, I got a visual for you here.
What's that?
Have you been on ESPN.com this morning?
I have not.
Go on ESPN.com and look at the ad at the top of the page. It's for a movie called Clipped. And tell me what you think of the picture.
Where's the pause button on Pornhub?
Open up
my
a new tab.
gosh.
Look at the
Randy.
picture. Are
What
you kidding
is that?
me?
Oh, yeah, that's on purpose.
Oh,
obviously.
my God.
Where's the pause button on Pornhub?
Just open up a new tab.
Okay. I need to go to where, Randy? ESPN.
Go on ESPN.com.
.com.
There at the top of the page, there's an ad for the movie Clipped. Look at the picture.
I'm not seeing
My
this.
ad's on the
It'll
right.
load.
Let me see if I can point.
Do you
I'm no
see
good
it?
at this.
Oh my gosh!
I'm no
Somebody
good
help
at this.
Nick.
Yeah, he's coming. Josh is coming to help me.
Scroll down.
It's the internet.
my
It
God.
might take a while.
Scroll down.
Wapple, you see it?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh my
yeah.
God!
That's good.
Oh my God!
Oh, here we go. Is this it?
Oh my God!
I can't even. I don't know what I'm doing.
Somebody help the old man.
Okay. An ad for a show called Clipped.
Do you see the picture?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a gal with a set of balls in her hand.
She's squeezing them a little bit, too.
Yeah, that was a little too much pressure.
The ad person that thought of that, God, that's genius.
They're basketballs.
It's about the Lakers and the Clippers.
Okay.
That's genius.
That is very well done. It's a set of mini basketballs, but it's obvious the suggestion is that they're testicles and a lady is squeezing them.
Oh my God.
Okay. That's cute. The scandalous story of LA's other basketball team, the Clippers.
Wow.
Scandalous? What scandal? Do you know ahead of time here?
I
Donald
don't know.
Sterling.
And maybe when they moved from San Diego, didn't they move
Yes.
from San Diego
Yes.
there? So maybe that's part of the story too. I don't know.
Okay. I know the Donald Sterling thing. He turned out to be a
I just
gas
want to
bag.
watch it for the ad.
I read the descriptions, a lot of Sterling stuff.
Oh, okay.
Things he did and said.
I do know some of that story. Okay.
All right. Anyway,
That's nice.
that's distracting.
Lawrence
Nicely
Fishburne
done.
stars.
Lawrence Fishburne.
I like him.
Oh, Lawrence Fishburne.
Ed O'Neill's in it too. You
Oh,
like
yeah.
Ed O'Neill?
He's Donald Sterling.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Who the hell doesn't love Ed O'Neill and Lawrence Fishburne? Lawrence Fishburne, I remember him in Apocalypse Now. Boys in the Hood.
Oh, the guy who played Roger Dorn is in it, too.
Well, that would be, don't tell me. God, he was big for a while.
He was big.
Corbin Burnson.
There it is.
The guy who played Roger Dorn.
Boy, I haven't thought about him in a long time.
Yeah, I think he just kind of said F it for a while there.
Hey, I like that guy.
I think he said F it. All right, Randy Shaver, there you effing go.
All right. One more day.
Yeah, one more day tomorrow. We'll try to have something
Tomorrow's
cool.
like F-off day, isn't it?
Oh, big time.
Sure.
Biggest
Yes,
F-off
sir.
day of all.
Yeah.
Because we're not working next week.
No dad fights tomorrow.
We might not do any damn thing.
Let's just maybe we should all just take a nap.
Let's just sit
like
around, yeah.
7:30 and 8:45.
I'll schedule some extra music.
Yeah.
There's nobody in either of these two rooms who has any interest in writing up a dad fight. How do you say it,
dad
Josh?
fight.
So
Yeah,
if you want to skip it, I'm up for skipping it, and we'll just roll some joints.
There'll be a lot to talk about tomorrow anyway.
Plenty to talk about.
Brad
Thanks,
will be
Randy.
on here. He'll start crying about the Wolves. Plenty to talk about.
Brad can't stand. He was so happy last night when the Mavericks won. Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow, Randy.
Sounds good.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our technicians are geared up and ready to make sure your system is running reliably this summer. Regular maintenance from Standard Heating helps prevent costlier breakdowns in the future, and we know they always happen at the worst times.
Summer's coming, but don't sweat it. Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.
Afford Anything talks about how to avoid common pitfalls, how to refine your mental models, and how to think about how to think.
Paula, while certainly you can mess up on $1 million a year, it is far less likely than it is on $30,000 a year.
Right.
I would meet wonderful people that were struggling with a budget that was super tight. It was 100% you need to make more money.
Make smarter choices and build a better life.
Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
They want to glorify the fact that they're criminals. It's dumb. These guys are dumb. They deserve to be tossed under the jail just for being dumb.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Oh, I love these spirited crowds. Thanks so much for listening to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Right on the nuts. Here we are dialed in at 8:30 in the godforsaken AM. So tomorrow is Ultimate Memorial Day weekend, F-off day. But I'll be damned if we don't have something fun to discuss right here now then. Before we're done with today's program, Ashley found a terrific question that was tossed out onto that godless social media. Oh, I like this one. Real or not, who cares? Here it is. Some of you are going to have trouble with this. The question: how do I tell my mom to stop making love so loud?
Thank God I have never been in that situation. I think I'd have to move out.
And to think it's gotten so bad for this person that they had to ask strangers about it on the internet. They're desperate for help.
As soon as I read the title to this thing, I thought, oh yeah, here we go.
This is beautiful.
I would ask one of you guys to take a chainsaw to my ears.
Oh!
That would be very, very difficult.
How do I tell my mom to stop banging so loud?
Well, I think that might ruin intercourse for me. Like, what if somebody made a noise and it sounded like your mom?
Oh, no.
Ruin intercourse, ruin holidays, ruin a lot of things.
That would bring it to a screeching halt. That is a very interesting theory. You're a 14, 15-year-old kid. You're just starting to get dialed into sex and whatnot. And you hear your mom, in the throes of passion, making some kind of squealing noise. Fast forward 10 years later, you're getting it smooth on, and your partner makes a sound that brings you back to that moment with your mother. I don't know. You'd have to be a professional to get through that.
Or if your partner was a little disappointing and you thought, oh, no, I've heard better things from my mom. That'd be tough to get over, too.
I've heard more passionate sex noises out of my mom. You might say. Almost no one would ever say that, but you might say.
Maybe this is a strategy to get them to wait till they're married and only have sex to procreate. Maybe the parents worked on this one.
I don't know the age of this individual who wrote in to Reddit or whatever the stupid channel is. Let me read the whole.
Don't they sound a little older?
So it was on Reddit, and it was a teen because it was on that was one of the tags on Reddit was teen.
So
yeah, it sounds like an older teen to me.
It does.
Yeah.
It sort of does to me,
junior,
Josh.
Senior.
Let's go with that. Let's say later teens. And here's how they explain things. Feel free, by the way, to text us. We're at 651-989-9393 if you have any quick answers to the question, how do I tell my mom to stop having sex so loud? It goes like this. My mom and stepdad, they have sex every night he comes over, which is 1 to 3 nights a week. My mama room is right next to mine, so I hear everything. Especially since her bed has been pushed up against the wall that's connected to my room. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. They don't even wait for me to fall asleep. I go to bed at 11:30 at night. They don't even wait 15 minutes. Now here's the part that Ashley knows what's approaching. This young person says it's the foreplay that really bothers him, really troubles him. The foreplay sounds.
This made my stomach sink. This
Okay.
detail.
I don't blame you. The foreplay is what's really troubling this young person. They say it's clearly the sound of my stepdad going down on my mother. Clearly, they say. Yeah, boy, those must be some thin walls, but I've lived in houses like that. It's clearly my stepdad, eating at the Y. And they say the sound reminds me of someone getting food out of their teeth.
Oh, that is so gross.
I don't exactly know what that. I can't quite put that sound to. Oh, did someone just do it?
When you use your tongue to like suck on your teeth.
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
Me.
You do it again.
Oh, God. That's Mom getting orally pleased.
Okay, I get it now. I did not get that at first. Yeah. Keep doing that. There you go.
Your mom.
Oh.
Cell leader Jesus said, "You just knock on the wall and yell, 'Finish her!'"
Oh.
They cheer him on.
Yeah, get involved in that fashion. So she closes, she or he, I don't know, closes out by saying, any tips on how to talk about this with her? Oh, I guess I'm picturing this as a young lady because a young man wouldn't even bother approaching this subject in any way.
Oh, I thought a young lady the whole time.
Yes,
for sure.
Okay. Right, let's just guess, 17-year-old guy, there's no way you have a face-to-face conversation with your mother about this.
Mm-mm.
You act like it's not happening. I don't know. You become addicted to heroin. I don't know what you would do. It's only possible that I think this is a young lady because it is, I think, somewhat realistic to think that a young lady would have that conversation face-to-face with her mother.
Would you, Ashley?
If I had to, yeah.
If it was getting to the point that this person's dealing with?
Yeah, if I couldn't sleep and I would have to talk to her. It would be the worst moment of my whole entire life, but
Maybe get her a ball gag for Christmas. A literal gag gift. Just, here you go, Mom. She might get the hint.
Wow, that is such a fun question. Well, go ahead. I mean,
I'm trying to...
Ashley, you're the one who would, you just said, you might, if you had to, you'd have that conversation. But what do you say?
I would probably approach it in a way where I didn't have to actually mention the sex. Maybe go to be like, "Hey, Mom, what was going on last night and the 5 nights prior?
Were you guys wrestling?
Why are you so loud?" Or maybe I'd be like, "Hey, Mom, by the way, the walls are really thin."
Okay.
And I'm really tired.
Any insulation in this house?
So you would be somewhat direct about it. I thought maybe at first you were going to play dumb and be like, "What were those noises last night?" Do you think that could be effective? Just play dumb?
Yeah, I think my mom would pick up on that.
Yeah, don't you think most grown folks would pick up on that, Josh?
Oh, I'm sure.
What the hell were those? Did you hear those noises last night? Yeah, something like that.
She would be absolutely mortified, too, if I ever brought this to her.
Zelda Master Jesus said, all you do is you burn the house down, run away, and never speak to them again.
That's it. It might sound like the nuclear option, but sometimes the nuclear option is the only option.
Traveling Jesus said, okay, we've had sex before. We know how to be quiet when it's necessary. The mom is clearly doing this on purpose. She can control her volume if she tried.
Wow, so where do we go with that? Doing it on purpose.
I wonder.
Yeah, because you could move the bed away from the wall.
Or bite a pillow.
Yeah.
Or, it's possible. My grandma, when she would go into the bathroom, she thought it was a fart chamber and no sounds would escape, and that was not the case. I would always have to talk loud if friends were over because I knew what she was going to do when she went in there. So maybe Mom doesn't know that you can hear. I would hope that's the case.
You would pray that's the answer because I still can't shake the idea that, okay, I'm a 16, 17-year-old kid. My parents are having loud sex and they're also being loud on purpose? That's creepy and unnerving to me.
That's abuse. Little Village Jesus said, I've had this conversation with my folks. Straight up just said, hey, glad it's working for you, but good Lord, settle her down some.
Glad it's working for you. Throttle her back.
That's a good way to go
ease it back, Mom and Dad.
That must be a really, really interesting space to be in when you're young. I could totally see myself once I was, in my 20s and 30s. I'm not shy, but I could see myself approaching my parents over something like that. I could. But when I'm a 9th grader, 10th grader, I don't know, man. So it's so interesting to me to think of growing up with, how should I say this, Josh, like sexually open parents.
Oh, it's so different today than it was back in the day. Yeah, I talk to my wife about that sometimes. Like, people are more comfortable talking about stuff we never would have brought up, ever.
My parents, I'm sure, were as careful as possible to not let us on as to what was going on in their bedroom. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, my parents weren't like that because they had sex 3 times. It produced 3 children.
Right.
And outside of that, they never did. So they didn't have that problem. And thank God they didn't.
Josh, didn't you just have this come up where your son asked you about a sex act and you're like, no, not at all. But then your wife told him exactly what it was and in great detail?
If he asked directly, now that he's a little older, I'll explain it to him. But yeah, she went into detail. And what details I didn't think were necessary. He actually made a sex joke the other day that he didn't realize. And I chewed him on like, why would you say something like that? And why would you say it in front of your mom? And it turns out he just heard it on the boss, didn't know what it meant.
Sure.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's all types out there. Some of the answers that this young lady received on social media after she told the story of her mother making loud sex noises, how do I approach this? How do I talk to her? Some of the answers were kind of funny. Bake a cake, someone suggests. Bake it the next day and write on the cake, I can hear everything. That's funny. That'd be a funny way to squash that problem.
What if you phoned in an anonymous noise complaint pretending to be the neighbor?
Oh, that's a good idea, Dana.
You deal the old 311 and saying, hey, I live at this house. My neighbors are being loud a couple nights a week. I can hear everything they're doing, and I need them to be quiet.
Yeah, I suppose that's.
It's a coward's way out for sure.
Can always go.
That's my way.
Than them.
There's a bunch of people are texting in saying, maybe this is not a teenager, maybe they're a little older, 20s or something, and this is mom and stepdad's way of getting him to move out.
Oh, Christ Almighty! I never thought of that.
That's a good
I think there'd be better, less gross ways, but maybe all those other ways have failed.
Yeah, and maybe this young person is in their 20s, like Josh said, and maybe they're a difficult little prick to live with.
Could be.
And mom and dad have tried everything to get them out already, and this is I never thought of that. That would be a surefire way to get them out of there.
A lot of people are saying, hey, just fight fire with fire. You get some too.
Yep.
2 can play at that game.
We'll show you how thin these walls are.
I love the way they put that. Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, bricked my pants, Jesus said that, and then he said, just have sex louder in your room.
Yeah, start moaning at the same time.
Yeah.
Was another suggestion. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know how some of you do it if you're dealing with a situation like that.
Shoot, I wish I could give credit. These texts are coming in too quick. Somebody had said, imagine, you're still in high school. You hear your mom making those noises. You're at your baseball game. You hit a home run, and you hear her scream yes in the exact same way.
God dang. You don't even finish rounding the bases, do you? You just walk off the ball field.
She's saying some of the same things. Oh, he's rounding third base. Yeah, slide into home.
I mean, you drop the batting helmet, you take off your jersey, you walk away. You never come back to sports ever again. I don't know. God dang it, I had one more thought. Oh, one of my favorite stories that a friend of mine will still tell once in a while was when he walked in on his sister having sex with her boyfriend, wide open in the middle of a living room. Oh, God. You had to be there, but the way he described it, I mean, he was a year older than his sister. We were all going to school together. And he comes home from school, same time as his sister, but they came back separately. He gets back to the house. All the doors are locked. And, what the hell's going on here? No one locks the doors around here. And so what's he take to doing? Peering through the front door. Is anyone in there? He can't really make it out from the door. So he goes over to the front picture window. And he said, the couch was pushed up against that picture window. When he pushed his face up against that window, it was like he was in a three-way. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be so tough to get over.
It was just 3D. His sister's boyfriend just absolutely delivering like no one's ever done. Oh,
Did he say anything to her? Or?
No.
Thank God she didn't see him or something.
Right. To this day, he's surprised that the boyfriend didn't see him because the boyfriend was facing the picture window in the position that they had selected that afternoon. But I'm glad you asked, what did he do, or did he say anything? Because I got wild there, and I would have blown right past the end of the story. Nice guy that he is, he waited in his car for about 20 minutes until he was sure they were done. And then he went and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, you guys accidentally locked the door. I just got back."
Oh, man. Imagine the guy he catches a glimpse of him and winks at him or something like
that.
No.
I'm banging your sister.
Again, the way his face was pushed up against a picture window, he said it was basically, aside from that inch of glass, it was like he was sitting on the couch next to his sister.
That's what she said. Jesus said her daughter, when she was in her late teens, had no problem telling her when she heard her and her ex have sex. She said it was so awkward because I never would have said anything like that to my mom. Yeah, it's a little different, isn't it?
Oh, it is different. Absolutely. Okay, we got to take a break, Ski, but we'll be back with more in a few minutes.
Half-assed Morning Show. 93X.
And
The 93X Half-assed Morning Show.
Oh, man. I don't know. I was having a pretty good time. We were talking about this really interesting question that got sent to Reddit, I believe. We were talking about this young lady. She sent in a question. She says her mother and her stepdad are in the bedroom right next to hers, and she can hear them banging 2-3 times a week. Her mother makes loud sex noises. She specifically noted oral sex noises can be heard through the walls. And so she asked complete strangers on social media, what can I do about this? How do I talk to my mother about the loud sex noises that I can hear through the wall? We talked about it. A lot of fun. Got some text messages. Jazzy Jesus. This is really this was one way to do it. Jazzy Jesus says a couple of years ago, the girlfriend and I got a text message from her teen daughter, and it simply said, "Gross, please stop."
Oh, that's hilarious.
We were talking back and forth. What is it like to grow up with that going on? Your folks just like it's prom night. Your folks banging back, and you can hear it. You know what's going on. Massage therapist Jesus said, "I dealt with that growing up, and it effed my head up. It's been 20 years, and it still haunts me to this day." But I think we have the ultimate solution to the problem. What do I do? My folks are in the bedroom next door, banging, whatever, stepdad, stepmom, whatever the situation may be. The best answer I saw all morning was a character named Blacktop Mofo Jesus. He says, you walk in and you start masturbating.
Yeah, that would stop, I would imagine. Although, maybe you don't get the response you want in that situation.
Yeah, see, that's scary.
That's a risk I don't know if I'm willing to take.
Oh, that's never going to happen.
Oh, it might be that way.
All right,
715 Mild Man texted in and said his ex-girlfriend left a Mondo shower suction dildo in the shower. Her little brother showered later that night and asked her to remove that.
Oh, would you please remove
that?
That? She left the Mondo suction cup dildo in the shower?
I wonder how Mondo we're talking. Because I think every inch adds a layer of therapy.
Yep.
Lord have mercy. Okay, before we get the hell out of here, earlier on this morning, we were playing off the bring your ass gimmick that everybody is fallen for here in
Bring
town.
your ass.
They love the whole bring your ass thing that Anthony Edwards did on television with Charles Barkley. So we asked our listeners, where is yo ass right now? Where's your ass? We asked folks to text us, tell us where they were at, what they were doing. Is your ass happy? Is your ass not so happy? Do you like where your ass is right now? We asked folks to text in to 651-989-9393. Before we left, we wanted to recognize what folks were up to. Where's your ass? Here, real quick, here's what I got on my end of things. My ass is at the gym. My ass is on the treadmill. Both of those sound miserable. My ass is in Otsego on my way to work like some kind of a loser.
Oh, you're not a loser.
My ass is at Quick Trip getting coffee for my 10-hour drive to Kansas City. Oh, God. My ass is getting my stupid boat ready on stupid Lake of the Woods. That's Baudette Fishing Guide Jesus. My ass is in Superior, Wisconsin. Nothing interesting ever happens in Wisconsin. And he's right. He's right. My ass is busting my ass in Roseville. My ass would rather be getting suffocated by a thick chick.
How's they spelling thick? The THICC or whatever it is?
Yeah.
That's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, they went with the triple C's. My ass is sitting at work at my work desk, my work from home desk. I'd rather be broadcasting from home right now. You know, Josh, that's an option we've been promised over and over again for decades, but it never actually happens.
Well, and then they put it in our contract. Still hasn't happened. You're right.
My ass is first in the building at the job site in Rosemount. My ass is driving across Ohio on my way home. Wow, driving across Ohio. My ass is on the toilet right now taking an amazing dump. My ass is in Hamel, Minnesota. My ass is prepping for a colonoscopy.
Oh, yeah, literally, I guess.
My ass is in Ramtucky, otherwise known as Ramsey. My ass is at work. One of our listeners says, a guy I work with missed a couple of days because of hemorrhoids. I'm guessing his ass ain't too happy. Hemorrhoids, Josh.
I'm a sufferer. I've never had it that bad where I have to take time off of work.
That's an angry ass.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
My ass is leaving work to stick it to the wife before the kids wake up. My ass is in bed because yesterday was my Friday. 5-day weekend. Lucky prick. My ass is setting up for a funeral right now. Oh, no.
Man.
Oh, no. My dump truck of a big ass is driving to work, wishing it was sitting on your face.
Oh. Those are the whores that your wife is talking about.
What?
Yeah, that was very sexualized.
And masshole Jesus. My ass is in Fall River, Massachusetts, getting ready for work and wishing I was anywhere else. Oh, I get that. Thank you, everyone, for letting us know. We appreciate that.
Happy 22nd to First I Bang the Drum, then I Bang Wapple's Mum, Jesus, turning 22 today.
First the drum, then the mum?
Then the mum.
Then the mum.
Happy birthday to Crazy Fish Guy Jesus, turning 26. Shout out to Leo, graduating preschool today from Mom and Dad. Thank you to everyone for listening, and please, as a favor to your friends here on 93X, have a great Thursday.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Stay cool with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Beat the heat now and ensure comfort all summer long. Their expert technicians are ready to ensure your AC is in top shape. Call and schedule a tune-up today at 612-824-2656 or online at standardheating.com.